now it's me.
Hi. You can say, get your shoes out of here.
I'm sorry.
It's a pigsty.
Hello.
Hi.
I should get rid of the tickets.
I wish. You just heard Dante's feelings, so.
How did I hear Dante's feelings?
Someone invited it. Can you move that just a tiny bit so I can read names? Oh, but now I can read.
You can.
All is well. Hello, everyone. Hi. No, hi. Hi, Mr. Murdoch. 92. Shoes out of here. Tonight we're going to show off a couple things.
Hello.
If you haven't read the news, I'm going to spoil it for you. No, it is written.
I'll do that.
I don't even know if I saved it as a draft one. It's on my left. Oh, that just insane, just so I can read names. I just walked away.
This is the secret reading style.
All is well.
No, you just. You go.
Hello, everyone. Hi. No, hi. I'm Mr. Murdoch. 92.
Hello, people.
Shoes out of here. Tonight we're going to show off a couple things.
Hello.
Music. If you haven't read the news, I was going to spoil it for you.
The music.
No, it is written.
I'll do that.
I don't even know if I saved it.
We didn't say anything on my left. We realised we got to post the Kickstarter update. James,
I just walked away. My bad.
This is the secret reading style.
All is well.
You probably close now. No, you just. You go.
Hello, everyone. Hi. No, hi. I'm Mr. Murdoch. 92.
Hello, people.
Shoes out of here. Tonight we're going to show off a couple things.
Hello.
Music. I haven't read the news.
You guys
I was going to spoil it for you.
The music.
No, it isn't.
So much do that.
I don't even know if I saved it.
We didn't say this. This is true. We realised. Man, we're not doing very well, are we?
Production value.
Okay.
My bad.
There's no more echo now.
As well. Testing 1, 2, 3. Everyone put their thumbs up if you can hear us well.
Do you know what was happening? The music was echoing
Back and forth.
back and forth. Okay, we are sorry, everybody.
20-second delay. Okay. We got an okay. We got a yes. We got a better. Is WFTO being sold to Facebook for 20 billion? 23, actually.
Yes. We're worth more than WhatsApp.
I'm gonna get a suit made of gold.
James, you didn't link to the Twitch channel.
Oh, I forgot to...
How could you fucking... Sorry.
Jeez, dude. Awesome. Double thumbs up. Is there a delay on the stream? Yes, it's between 20 and 30 seconds. That's just what happens on the Twitch. Wait, can't you just do the cheating?
No, because
edit?
it sends an email out.
When you edit it?
Yeah, no. When you don't... People would have got an email now without the link.
Oh.
No one goes through to the website.
Bastards. I can go thumbs up emote. Yeah. So, hi everyone. Tonight we're gonna do our normal Q&A bits, and we're also gonna show off a bunch of new assets for the upcoming patch. Our redone tutorial. We're also gonna briefly talk and show you guys how we make levels in WFTO, which will probably be really exciting. You can see what we go through, and we'll talk more about that when we get to it.
Kickstarter.
So once Josh finishes pressing this button, Josh, you really need to add
the link, yeah, considering that's all this update
there we go.
is about.
Right. Don't forget this time.
Yeah, that you forgot last time.
I prefer brood.
Oh, I didn't close my brackets. That's terrible. How could I do that?
You embarrass
I did
almost all day.
Make sure the link works.
Are we good?
Yeah.
The Facebook link is wrong.
The Facebook link is wrong. The Facebook link.
That's not my problem.
That was probably... I didn't post on Facebook yet. Oh, Lee did earlier.
Strange.
Twitch.tv/WFTO.
It is mechanical keyboard.
No.
I believe there are cherry switches.
Yeah, they're too loud. They're horrible.
I promise I want to show you guys some things.
Okay. We're good. Yes, so...
Silent your phone.
It was silent. I just unsilenced it thinking I was silencing it. Okay. Yes, there has been a delay with the patch. Unfortunately, we had problems getting everything ready. Get rid of that. Oh,
Or just put this in front.
you want to make us bigger?
Yep.
Why would we want that? Hello.
No, not that. Jeez.
Okay. So, basically, we bit off more than we could chew for the res patch. We wanted to get a bunch of different things ready for rest. Tiny bit bigger.
A couple, like a tiny bit too much.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, that's true. Doesn't. A little bit.
There was a lot of stuff. There was about a dozen new spells, rituals, potions, defenses. There was three or four new rooms. There was the tavern, the alchemy lab, the sanctuary, and the spirit chamber. There was
mechanically complex.
three new levels. We rebuilt the tutorial. We rebuilt Rasmus's domain, and we have a new level which some of you may have seen the title of in the top of the screen now.
Stimpy
And obviously the new UI. So there was a lot. Unfortunately, it's all sort of 90% done. None of it's completely done, which is really unfortunate. Which means that we're not releasing the patch today, or yet. What we are doing, if you've read the Kickstarter update, you will have seen, we're going to be putting up a Steam beta branch. What you can do is if you go to the thread, there's instructions to opt into this Steam beta branch, and once you do that, tomorrow you'll get an early version of this patch. The new UI isn't there, which means that all the buttons for all the new stuff isn't actually there.
Right.
But what you can do is use the debug console to access all of these new things. So if you really, can't wait to play with all these new things, you can do that. It's all there. Some of the visuals aren't quite there. Obviously, as I said, there's no buttons. The new UI isn't there. The levels aren't quite finished, but you can still play with the things. We wanted to release something because we said we would. We just don't feel it's quite ready for public use yet, as you'll see. Anyway,
You'll see.
Now I think we're going to hand over to James to go through the tutorial.
Tutorial.
Yes.
It's a new tutorial. It's just that the UI isn't complete. So like there's art for it, but we can't click on certain things within it. And obviously everything that we added to the patch isn't existent in our old UI because it's being phased out. So all of our new content, like there's no way to get to it outside of the console. Which is the main reason that we couldn't release the patch today. Also, nothing's perfectly refined to the way that we want it to be. Yes, if you have questions, just put a big Q in front of them, and I'll do my best. There is a delay, so keep that in mind.
So usually we put the camera at the bottom right because there's no minimap, but we have a minimap now.
Bottom right.
Okay, fine. I'll do that. We still have the incorrect... Let me just fix the lighting because that's annoying me.
Do you have a pencil?
I muted my phone.
No, you didn't. What game modes are on this, guys? I was looking around and only found about this today. Right now there's a tutorial, a second tutorial that's more open-ended, and a third level that we'll talk about tonight, as well as just normal sandbox maps. Sorry, I didn't catch your name, but whoever that guy was.
Okay, here you go, James. Headphones for audio. But
can they not hear me, actually?
No, they can.
Do I need these?
No, this is so you can hear the game. Or do you not want to hear the game?
I don't need to hear the game.
Okay.
In fact, you should probably put it really low, because otherwise we're just going to be talking all the time.
It's fine.
So
we have a little surprise as well to show you.
Can you bump Unity down to like 10%?
Yeah. I think we need to start the game first. Unity already 10%. Okay.
Are you not going to play for me?
Oh, you want me to?
You're going to play so I can talk.
Okay.
Hi, Yoris. Will the monsters get their own bed? Wait. Alistair, is that you?
Finally.
Was that you?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Alistair, what an excellent question.
Waki asked before that. Waki 3. Yes. So all of the minions get their own beds. The beasts. What? I'm gonna talk over them. We've got subtitles. Hey guys, look, we got subtitles now.
Yeah, they will be improved.
What was the question? Right in the middle of it. Yes, there'll be a unique bed for every species of minion, although the beasts will...
Beasts don't have beds. They sleep on the floor.
Don't have beds. Yes.
You will need an army before you can crush this realm under heel.
So our new tutorial is a lot more user-friendly for players that haven't played a dungeon management game before. We had a lot of questions that seemed to crop up by players that weren't acquainted, and everyone that was familiar with dungeon management games already knew kind of how to play, because we haven't changed too much in terms of just what you need to do in order to build a dungeon and stuff. So this one's a lot simpler. It should be great at res, where people will be coming from all walks of life to experience it, as well as people that try it out on Steam Early Access to pick up the game for the first time. Hopefully we're not spoiling all the dialogue for you. Question, how's work on the story coming along? Quite well. In fact, that's all I'm going to be doing till the end of time.
Yes.
After res.
I just want to point something out. You will see a bunch of little graphical issues like this. That's just an issue that we've had in the most recent build or two. So
when Josh says issue, he means feature. We felt like the layer was a little bit too relaxing.
So we added disco lights.
That's it. There is indeed a minimap! Pina colon? If the beasts don't have beds... So, the beasts sleep in just the beast den. They don't have a specific spot within the beast den to sleep, they just go there, and it feels nice and cozy, and they sort of circle up in a little pile on the floor. As progress from music coming along, would be any added songs. In fact, I think there are new tracks in this build. I know Dante has completed them, and I think Dan has completed some as well.
Now that you have a slaughter pen, minions will be willing to enter into.
So yes, there will be new songs. I know that all of the audio, or at least all the tracks that have been made for the game, there's at least a handful that haven't been put in yet. Thanks, Mativ! How many different minions will there be?
If we include all the good guys, probably about 40.
Yeah, we counted earlier tonight on the train. Somewhere between like 34 and 40, I'd say.
Something like that, yes.
Give or take.
That's including the good guys, though.
Yes. So you can almost have that for the end of works, although there are a couple more underload units. Game modes. There's Sandbox. This is for... I'm sorry, I can't read your name. It's Ricky with a bunch of X's and K's around it. We have a sandbox mode, a tutorial, a second map that follows the tutorial, another map that we're going to show up tonight that's kind of a survival level. I won't say anything else.
Surprise!
Well, it's Stumpy's Survival Challenge, so we'll show that one off. So currently 4 game modes, as well as multiplayer if you want to hop into it.
Yeah, multiplayer isn't quite ready yet. The Horror of Nephron is that how you pronounce it? That was more of just sort of an early concept. At the moment we're not planning to have it in. That's been sort of superseded by, as you say, the super units.
I've never seen a room built with such bravado. A cultist has entered.
It may be a reference to a joke in another dungeon management game, though we couldn't really say. Is the game going to have Steam Workshop?
We actually are going to talk about that a little bit later.
We are.
This afternoon, evening, depending on your time zone.
Evening.
I think they could be in America.
The Resp21 asks if the game will have multiple tiers. Like, I think Dwarf Fortress is what you're referencing. No, it will be one level. You won't go up or down. But it'll be really wide and tall.
Dudish Man asks, did you license Dungeon Keeper to be able to build WFTO? No. Long story short, yes, it is similar to Dungeon Keeper. That's a little bit obvious. We have been in contact with EA, regular contact. They're perfectly happy with what they're doing. They've actually been pretty helpful. But no, we aren't. It isn't an official Dungeon Keeper product. It never will be. And yes, unfortunately, the lava in the foundry has disappeared at the moment. It will be back.
Will there be random map generation for sandbox gameplay? It's not currently planned. It's something that would require at least some, like, a generous amount of time to look into before we even thought about implementing it. That shouldn't be Where did that go? Oh, no. So no, not currently. It's definitely something that we'll look at down the line. Right now, it's just not a priority. Liam's had the same kind of sound effect when capturing a floor tile. They won't have the same sound effect as anything in any other game, though I believe Dan and Dante both have. Neither of them is quite pleased or happy with the exact sound for claiming tiles right now. So
there's actually a new claim tile sound in this.
Oh, nice. Okay, so it has been changed from the current build that you guys have. In terms of optimization, not great. It's something that is just slowly worked on over time. Like if we find a way to make shit run better, the game run better, then it goes in. But we haven't really spent time trying to make it, or trying to improve it.
Apparently, a dungeon can't be hit.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Actually, it appears this guy
What's happened?
he's stuck and nothing can hit him.
Why does Richard writing sometimes interrupt himself? He shouldn't. On the current levels that you guys have access to, he occasionally does. We had to create a node that would make him not do that. In something called Mighty Quest, which you guys will see in a little bit. Josh, how much contact do we have with EA, and what have they helped with them precisely, if we can say? And are there any problems with us being too similar to Dungeon Keeper?
So we are in contact with the guy who is in charge of EA Mythic. EA Mythic is basically the studio within EA which is in charge of all things Dungeon Keeper. We have a call with him, every, I would say, 2 months, just sort of catch up on what we're doing. He's mainly just been helping us saying, you can do this, you can't do this, which is perfectly fair and perfectly reasonable for them to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think something broke.
Yep. You can find out what broke. And this is a perfect segue.
The Unity is dying.
Will mains become available per new chamber, room, and will these chambers become available when after another story mode? So story mode will introduce... Oh.
No, this is normal one, it's paused.
Can you click game?
What?
Click game instead of scene.
We can.
Just as broken. Sorry, it's a middle question. What I believe the plan for New Game Plus is, although we're not really calling it that, are we?
No. Challenges.
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 Well, I can't answer the question. Walkie3 has a question for you, Josh.
Just say yes. You can answer that. The answer is what you think it is.
Is it? Okay. So when you once you've run through the game once, we plan on adding a mode where you can go back, and at that point you'll have access to everything. So the specific stuff that you only got access to as you progress through the campaign, everything will be unlocked as you go through a second time. So it'll be much more challenging in various ways.
Okay, I don't know why it's broken.
But I can't tease you.
It shouldn't have stopped. But
Something wrong with the move camera. It's missing something on the... It's not returning. We'll be able to make our own maps. Chav, we're going to talk about that right after, well, probably in the next few minutes once we close out of this game. How's the redesign of the Gargoyle going? Very well. I'm personally really happy with how it's going to turn out. It has changed a bit in terms of what you think it is and what it does.
But it looks the same because it looked excellent.
It does look the same though because it's awesome. Actually, it looks better.
Well, it's the same.
Well, no, it looks better because we now have the shader forge on it instead of the old.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Technically, it looks better. Will there be a hero minion that can dig tunnels? Yes, there's a dwarf worker. He only digs tunnels. Well, he does other things, but that's his main purpose. Skickert, I'm going to guess that was a typo and you mean joke messages and like a happy hour? Yes, lots of those. There's only a handful in the game currently. Do you have any unique features planned for individual campaign levels? Lots. Can't talk about it, though.
Well, okay. As far as what you're saying with the unique monsters, traps, and enemies, there are a few of those.
Not lots.
I think lots is probably overblowing it. There
At
are
least
a couple. However, we have an absolute crap ton of ideas of things we could do after release with specific extra minions that we can't sort of do in the main campaign because it needs to remain relatively vanilla. But
Right.
Post-release, we can do all sorts of crazy stuff.
There are a couple, yeah. Are there any... Oh, let me just ask.
We're going to show you the Go-Go later. It's not in-game, but we have some we have the artwork and we'll explain what it does now.
I like this question. What happens when creatures go hungry? First they get upset. Then they get grumpy. Then they get angry. I don't think they can starve to death. I think they leave your dungeon before they can.
No, yeah, they leave.
Yeah, so before they kill themselves because you don't feed them, they will attempt to leave your dungeon. Of course, if they're unable to leave your dungeon, it may end up in there. them dying. Huh. That would be sad. Don't do that to your minions. They just want to help you. Anything you can spoil about the gargoyle? It moves less. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, now I'm working on the survival level now.
This is source tree, everyone.
Yes, this is what we use to collaborate without overwriting each other's work. It will very often try and make you sad.
The only Control-X, Control-V... I did not answer your question earlier, so I'm happy that you asked it again. Sorry about that. There will... Well, we've talked about... There's a whole thread about our plans for DLC and the longevity of WFTO. That's... I hate source tree. Perhaps Alistair can link you to it. This guy right here is going to help you out. Oh, you can't see him.
What is he linking to?
He's linking to the longevity of the overworld and DLC thing. So we have a big long post about it that's kind of out of date, but it should answer your question, just in terms of what we're thinking. What creatures attempt to eat the hand of evil when starving? That actually... I can imagine them like trying to jump up and eat it, but that's too many animations. Any light at the end of the OSX tunnel?
Unfortunately, no. We're unlikely to see any big updates to Unity before they release Unity 5. I know they're pushing out an update with their new GUI tools. I doubt that's going to include a fix for this, for the OS X issue specifically.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to OS X in general, we do have a fix we can do, but it's a fix that will take like about a month of time, and Unity can fix it on their end, which takes us no time, or we can do this massive workaround.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes to it, by the time we're going to release the game and they still haven't fixed it, we will do that workaround. But it's just not a very good use of our time at the moment. I'm hoping that with the release of Unity 5, this issue will be fixed.
Right.
In addition, yes, I saw someone mention 64-bit. Hopefully that will allow us to do a 64-bit Windows build as well, along with the Mac and Linux builds, which are 64-bit already.
Mm-hmm. Have you had any more studio time with Richard? In fact, we did. Like 2 days ago?
No, was
it a week ago? Okay, it felt like 2 days ago.
It was 5 days ago. Thursday last
So like 6 hours ago, we were in a studio with Richard, and man, was it fun. Yes, you'll hear more recent patches. You'll see. A good portion of the of our time there was related to our new survival level, which we'll show off soon.
When do you hope to have a finished build, not necessarily a release date?
Tomorrow, but that's unrealistic. What? Well, I hope it's tomorrow. That would be really cool.
Probably summer. It's looking like hopefully this summer. I mean, do not hold us to that.
It's really hard to say.
As we've said all along, we're more worried about it being good as opposed to finished sooner. Obviously, we don't want it to drag on too long, but unless we're happy with it, we're not going to say it's finished.
Will there be vampires? Kurt wants to know.
I don't know. Will there be vampires?
Should we have vampires?
I don't know. Should we vote?
Do you want vampires?
Alistair, do you want a vampire?
Yes.
Okay.
Do a thumbs up if you want a vampire. Or a Frank or Z. That's it. Never mind. How many different traps will there be? At least 5. Less than 30.
One thing I will say about the defenses, not traps, is that they are all going to be far more in depth than you're probably used to. There aren't like 6 different defenses which will do some sort of light damage and crowd control in a very uninteresting way. They are all quite wildly different from each other
and many of them are interactive.
Yes, we were going to talk about that. We're adding some interactivity to the defenses as well. Yeah, you did spoil that, James. The gargoyle comes in too. Oopsie daisy. Yes, the gargoyle is a defense now. I guess we'll just say it now. The gargoyle is now a defense, and let me see if the art is done. Well, it is done. I just don't know where the image is.
Mm-hmm.
So James is going to continue talking whilst I find the image.
Epic Wolf wants them to sparkle. He says if they do not sparkle, he'll ask for a refund.
That's fine. You can have your refund.
Epic Wolf, I am proud to announce that we can refund you your copy, and that there will be sparkly vampires in the game.
There won't be sparkly vampires.
Can you guys do some online play with us right now? That would be a great way to finish off the session, actually. Play against one lucky person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
When we end, we will end with one game against whoever joins our lobby first.
That might break it.
It might break it, so we'll try to do one game against whoever joins our lobby first. Dungeoneer is originally Vision, but will there be a level? We're going to show you that right after Josh teases the gargoyle.
Yes.
So we'll show you what our map editor currently looks like. We'll show you what, like, basically how we create maps, and then, well, I'll end it with a warning and a provision. Rek was the name of my warrior in, wow, ages ago. Oculus support. It is already in the game. It's been temporarily disabled.
For like 4 months.
So, Nano, one of our lovely coders, programmed it like an evening in the middle of Eurogamer and put it in. And then we had to take it out because it was causing some issues. But it's there, so I'm guessing it'll probably go back in at some point.
If it doesn't break the game, we'll have it in as just a thing. If you want to use it in possession mode, you can.
Right. What do you need to defeat the heroes? That's a campaign question. And as we said a couple times, you may not have been here. We can't tease the campaign because it's the only thing you won't get during the beta.
Oh, hey, are you a Kickstarter backer? This is if you're a Kickstarter backer at the statue tier, then your statue is going to be looking something like this with color.
Just a big gray mess with a little bit of red.
I don't think I have a picture of the finished one.
But that's very close to what our statue will look like.
Yes.
Is that fair? Dude Ishman, I don't understand the question. Will you support Dungeon Keeper 2? How has this experience changed your outlook on game development? Positive or negative? Very positive. I can also see why many game developers are bald. I thought it was just a weird coincidence, but it makes sense now.
I don't think I have.
You're showing everyone source tree, by the way. Question, do imps have souls? No, they're parts of you. I mean, maybe. No, because you don't feel pain when they die. No. And here comes the porn.
Yeah.
Why in the wheelbarrow of Jesus gravy are you not working on the minimap?
We have a minimap.
I think he wants it to look prettier. In general, it's just been, we had a ton of stuff that we wanted for resed, and all of it got to about the 90 to 95% done point. And that was not even on the list. Do we have to collect all the portal? No, portal gems are not a thing.
Portals aren't a thing. We have gateways.
Do we have souls? I can't speak for you, Twitch Niche. Kaloran, not a lot of joy. We have a workaround that'll take us personally a month to do. We're waiting on Unity to release Unity 5 and then hoping that they'll go back and fix the issue because we've raised a ticket for it. So hopefully.
Someone has the image of the gargoyle. They are sending it to us. We will have it soon.
Caffey asks a great question, and I want you all to remember this name, Caffey1. Just remember his name and his question. Will we be able to give our favorite imp a top hat? We're not going to answer that right now.
Absolutely not.
Okay, well, Josh is, apparently.
Yes.
It's rude. How do creatures interact with one another? Generally, they hit each other if they're in opposite factions. Sometimes they high-five. That's not true. That's a lie. Sorry.
Do we have souls? Did you answer that?
I couldn't speak for that person in particular. I know this guy doesn't. I might.
No.
No. Okay. Probably, like, all signs point to no.
Yeah. What is your opinion on Goddess? I'm going to be honest. I didn't like it before the update. I haven't played it after the update, but everyone I've spoken to said it's significantly better than it was. So.
I played it for 8 hours straight.
After the update?
No, just the first time I played it, and then I haven't played it since.
Oh, okay.
I liked the funny, really kind of creepy banter between the two, so I just kept doing the campaign bit. Campaign, whatever it was.
The
really creepy? Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I liked that. In that case, are you upgrading to Unity 5?
Probably. We're gonna look at it, obviously. If there is a sort of a seamless transition and there are very obvious benefits to doing so, then yes. Obviously, at the moment we don't have it, so we can't tell when they actually release it or when it's made available to us. We will most certainly give it a go. On the face of it, the benefits seem great. The performance updates, the material changes, especially, that will be very good for us. And the
audio changes.
Audio changes, yes, and the 64-bit build as well. That will make a lot of people very happy.
Is there a game mode where you have to kill as much imps as possible in 60 seconds with Linux build? No, but I like that idea.
You can make that with our editor. Well,
in fact, we could
We could make that now.
I don't think either of us could make that in a few minutes, but Nano could make that in a few minutes.
If Nano's watching this, but Nano's busy doing other things.
Nano's very busy. What? I don't know what Dungeon Keeper 3 is.
Dungeon Keeper 3 doesn't exist.
That's not a game, I'm sorry. Are there Minotaurs in this game? No, we have so many... Minotaurs are just old. Those are boring.
Last year.
We have a lot of really cool minions. In fact, we're going to tease one tonight. Have we already shown it?
Which one?
No.
If you're a founder, you would have seen it in the Founders Forum. We're going to show you quite a few things. Minions do not get married. They all hate each other. They're horrible people. They're not people, in fact. They're just monsters.
Most of them are people.
No.
Well, I mean, the Empire units, maybe they come in married, but their spouses are still topside, and they're all going to be widows. And
the Empire states that no two members of a marriage may join the army. It's for the kids.
That's going in. Make a note. No, 2. Creatures don't have genders. Not entirely true.
Yeah, I mean, as for why we don't have male and female versions of units, every unit is every component of a unit is very carefully put together, and the gender is part of that unit. Like, you know, the succubus obviously works infinitely better as a female than it does as a male, whereas something like the Chunda is obviously quite male. And
wait, no,
terrible.
It's not.
Is it not?
No.
Okay.
You think he looks male? I think he looks very androgynous.
You just said he twice.
Well, yeah, normally I'd say she if I was writing it, but when I speak, it's a he.
Okay, we have... Oh, that's the old one. Gargoyle trap. There we go.
So the gargoyle is no longer a dude. It's now a thing.
Yes.
It rotates.
Okay, so the way the gargoyle is going to work. Actually, let's take a step back and talk about mana.
Mana.
So the way mana works now, you have your 1,000 mana. As you progress through the Veins of Evil, your mana is actually going to increase up to 2,000. So you get more mana as you progress. We haven't 100% decided how you're going to gain mana, as in extra mana hit bar, but it will happen. Anyway, defenses and other things, actually, instead of using up sort of mana per second, what they do is they lock up portions of your mana bar. So at the moment now, when you summon a worker, it no longer costs 75 mana to summon. What it does do is permanently lock up 25 mana in your bar.
So a number.
Hmm?
Okay, yeah. Currently it's 25.
Currently it's 25, but we're probably going to up that to 50. Anyway, so it's sort of a bit like the power system in the old Command & Conquer games, not the new one. And everything that's sort of you exerting your influence on the world is going to cost up mana. So workers, ember demons, and most defenses will use that because they're sort of increasing your potency in the world.
This defense as example. Let's just say it costs 200 mana. You can only have 10 of them.
However, this one does something special. This one only uses mana when it's firing. What the gargoyle does is it shoots... Obviously it doesn't do that yet, but it will shoot a big laser beam in a straight line. So you'll place it down, and when it sees an enemy in front of it, it will shoot this giant laser beam and do lots of damage.
I don't know if it actually has eyes. It senses. It feels.
Whatever.
It's an emotional beast.
Whatever. However, what you can do with the gargoyle is when you click on the gargoyle, it will actually rotate.
90 degrees.
Yeah, rotate 90 degrees. So it's sort of like a bomber band bomb in that you place it down and it can only fire north, south, east, and west. But if you don't want it to use up mana, you can actually point it towards a wall and then it can't fire, and you can actually save the mana. So you can sort of strategically place them at different entrances of your dungeon, and whenever an entrance is being attacked, you can go there and spin the gargoyles around and make sure they are actually fighting and using themselves effectively. We're introducing things like that to most of the defenses because we wanted the defenses to be a bit more powerful because of this mana lock system that we're having. But if they were just passively really powerful, then that was going to be a bit too strong. So by adding the interactivity to it, it allows us to make them more powerful when you're using them correctly.
And also it makes people that are playing defensive just as active as players that are being offensive. Like, you still get to do the same number of things as another player, but just in a different way. It makes defense active, which we think is really exciting. Instead of just sitting there, because that's just a tower defense.
We aren't selling ourselves to Facebook for $1 billion.
We would, though. I would. I mean,
I'm going to be honest. If they offered us $1 billion, I would say yes, and then
we could have male and female for every unit.
Yeah, we would just go make a new game, and we'd make it better.
Yeah.
Because we would have $1 billion.
Yeah.
We would just call it something else. We'd
He
start
won't
with a better
move.
name next time.
We would. He definitely won't move on his own. In fact, he can't. You could sell him. You could build a new one. Oh, we should have a relocate. No, we can't add new features, but that'd be fun.
The gargoyle does not move. He is stationary. He is a statue. He will twitch, though, when he is idle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We missed one or two. Josh has not recorded the sounds for the barge yet, but I'm glad you asked because that's a very important question. I hound him daily, and he just keeps saying that he's too busy, like running a company and making a game.
I will kill you.
But at some point,
You will
we'll get him
die.
in there. Don't worry about it.
You will die.
In regards to Alex Slayer 30's question, we will in fact have some kind of big map that shows your progression as you complete the campaign.
Since Manor has locked 2 traps, can we power down defenses? At the moment, not. I've considered it. If it turns out we need to add that, then we will. The reason being is we don't want the player to be able to drop down like 100 defenses and then turn them off when needed. This sort of turning on and off thing is a sort of feature unique to the gargoyle because it's going to be really powerful and it's going to cost way more mana than any other defense.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to offset that massive cost, you are going to be able to turn it off.
Epic What the Fuck says, are you going to have anything related to Easter eggs? Our policy on Easter eggs is that if we talk about them, they wouldn't be Easter eggs. So we're going to say no. No Easter eggs at all. None. 0. There might be one.
How much of the game is complete percentage-wise? That's a
Feature complete?
That's
or
a difficult question. Every room, actually, on our internal build, we have every room. So all the rooms are done. And we are quite rapidly adding in all of the defenses and spells and blah, 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 blah. So, as you'll see, we've added a ton in what we're going to be showing you. So, I don't know, it's quite difficult to gauge.
More than 10%, less than 90.
I mean, realistically, I would say probably 60% maybe. It's really difficult. There's so many different moving parts.
In the meantime, you replace the bar with the mime. I actually like that suggestion.
I like this suggestion too, because mimes don't make any noise.
But then we have to change its abilities then. That doesn't work. If you had one superpower, what would it be? I'd never want to age. Not immortal, just never want to age.
We can't drag Dante in because we are in the same room. So the audio is set up for us to be in a room.
Wait, we are?
Yes.
Oh, he's actually there. Will there be a mana down ritual? Maybe.
Oh, that's a very good question.
That's a good question.
Okay, yes, there is. We'll just say it.
How likely is a dog-like creature? We have a Scarred. I mean, he's kind of cute. Well, the dog doesn't move, does it? It just sits there looking like this.
That's because it's always in a photo. In real life, they do move.
Do they?
Yes.
That's not the impression that I've gotten from them.
Okay. Is there a way to build walls back up? Yes, we have that in. We'll show you when we play the game in a little bit.
How do we get into Q&A? Let's show off our map design. Yep.
Map design.
Yep.
Should we just build a map?
No. Well, I mean, we can.
Like the editor. Should we show the editor first?
Can you move? Can you build a map? They would work?
Just the new bit.
First go? Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's build a map and then let's show the editor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We'll build a new map.
Yes.
New scene. Do not save.
So, this is how we make a map in our game. Just as a brief sort of overview, we want to make this tool available to everyone. We don't know if we can, but we really want to. As we sort of learn more, like right now it requires Unity Pro. Yes. Accurate.
Yes.
This tool requires Unity Pro, which is expensive for most people.
Actually, saying that, we've been putting specific effort in when we're building components to ensure that as we build new components, they don't require Unity Pro, but some of the older stuff we're using still does.
Yes.
So we would hopefully it will happen.
Here's hoping, right? Until then, right now it just works for us, but it would be great if we could allow this tool for everyone, because it would make it... You guys could do anything. All of that is self-explanatory. Width and height, penetrable borders, just so you can't dig outside of the map. And creation speed is how fast we can do this while streaming. How's MediQuest? Hang on, oh, there we go. It's happening. I've known about game design forever because I once played Game Dev Tycoon. Oh, let me start this question over because it's great and needs to be recorded for all time. I've known about game design forever because I once played Game Dev Tycoon. Do you think you guys managed to get the right combination on the sliders? God, we hope so. No, you can't delete the undersun.
No, you can delete the undersun. The undersun is not a thing anymore.
It definitely is. Ceiling King asks, will ceilings be visible when possessing creatures?
As we're doing on Twitch TV, we will make this purple.
That's a good choice.
There you go. That's a
Do
bit.
you need
That's a bit too
reference?
purple.
I need a little darker.
Okay, dark purple.
Oh, no, to the right.
I think it needs a bit more blue.
A little bit more blue.
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit down. A little bit. Okay.
Okay.
I will harass you on Josh Skype. Acknowledge me.
Who's asking?
Don't know. We really want to use Steam Workshop. We'll know more as development continues. I'm sure I missed a question. No, I did not. So that bit made a bunch of tiles. As you can see, there's dirt surrounded by impenetrable rock. Now Josh will paint. He's not much of a painter, but when it comes to making maps, it seems to work a lot better. So what do you guys want on the map? Should we write someone's name? Should we draw a smiley face? Do you want a dungeon? What do you want in the map? We're going to have to wait 20 seconds.
I know.
Which
I
means
don't like this delay. You can drink beer. That's disgusting.
Sometimes I have to make noises. Pratchett asks, will the maps have one level to them like in the Dungeon Keeper series, or multiple levels with depths? They will not have multiple levels with depths. We think there's already too many exciting things to do on just a single level. If we had more, it'd just get confusing.
Also, people want cake.
Also, people want cake. Do we have cake?
Oh, I tell you what.
They want lava and gold.
And cake.
Lava and gold.
And cake.
Lava and gold and cake. And
Make
we
it.
don't. I'm sorry, we don't have cake.
A small set of heroes that can be killed relatively quickly. So this is the paint tool. It lets you paint.
The dungeon core appeared. There we go.
That may not look really cool, but it's incredibly cool for us because it used to be a very arduous process.
Yes.
That probably would have taken, what, like 5 minutes?
Lava and gold. Yes.
And the previous one, a 4-player map. 4-player versus map.
4-player versus map. Probably not.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to just immediately make everything asymmetrical. Lava melting out of cake. Any possible information? What vampire? Well, someone earlier convinced us that it should sparkle. I think it was Caffey. I want to say it was Caffey.
This could be the Twitch TV Underlord. Let's go.
Okay.
Purple.
Oh, what a purple underlord. Vesparco. I can tell you that it might be in the game, but it might not be. You probably can't see my smile. My childish grin. Are you gonna be able to draw a cake?
I'll do my best.
Do you want a reference picture?
I think I know.
Round.
Yeah.
Candles.
Thank you.
Lava candles.
Yeah, the candles can be gold and the fire can
that's
be.
cute.
It's gonna look shit.
It's gonna look real good. Oh, what kind of development process are we using? Unified process, I don't know what that is. Agile.
And I know this is gonna work.
In between. Agile or something in between.
It's agile. Okay, we're gonna show you some new dungeon themes. Are we? It might not work, so.
I really hope it works. Which one is it?
The Kickstarter one and the Founders one.
Nice.
Let's get this going.
When you guys finish streaming, you're gonna play a game 1 versus 1.
We will play a 1v1 game with someone after.
We will not do it on this map though.
No.
It's not going to be a multiplayer map because then we'd have to push it to Steam. It would take forever.
And the game
would
die.
Yeah, it would be awful.
Good.
Well, there'd be a creature like the Firefly that always flies around at a very high speed, so you can't catch it with your hand. It always gets into fights and barely survives because it's just so fast. And then it gets into another fight 1 minute later just to annoy you with an alert message. No. We have a scouting creature in the game, although I would not liken it to the Firefly from the Dungeon Keeper series. We answered Agile when you guys finished the stream. We answered that. We got a fluffy, cute creature. Well, I think we confirmed a Democorn like last April 1st, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Democorn.
Yeah, the Democorn is replacing the Skog.
Oh, is that what's happening? Okay, yeah, so we're getting rid of the not so fluffy cute one and replacing it with something fluffy and cute. A high-end unit. We might be able to show well, we've already shown all 3 super units, yeah? So what was your name? Vesparco. If you click on the link that Alistair is going to show you, it'll be our post about super units. They're basically the highest tier unit in the game for Underlords. Blah blah blah. Paint a cookie. Ooh, I like that idea too. So we realize this probably doesn't look cool.
Do we have the other dungeon doors?
But it's fantastic.
If we have the other dungeon doors, that would be cool.
But you guys are going to put in slapping the creatures. Slapping is already in the game, as is the torture chamber. I don't know if the torture animations are in?
No, the effects are.
Okay, so the effects for torturing are in. We have most of the torture animations on our end, but they're just not in the game yet. The ghosts or spirits to which you're referring, they lose health because they're meant to be invulnerable scouts. Basically, you make them if you want to explore out without losing a creature. Their entire purpose is to scout without dying. Although, naturally, they die in the end, but you get the idea. Is there going to be a campaign? Yes, there will be a single-player campaign that should be fantastic. It will not be out until the game is released. How come painting works better for you?
Because I'm better.
I can't even see that. I hate being colorblind.
Yeah, these aren't very bright.
Okay.
They don't have the proper misery.
Are you going to do any changes to the Archon since it takes 2 times the sin points to unlock compared to the other?
Yes.
Yep. Yes, we are going to make changes to the Archon. Release date sometime this year. Hopefully sometime sooner than later. Did you guys watch / like the Lego movie? I did not. Alistair?
That was
Did you
not
see the Lego movie?
I have not. I hear it's really, really good.
Yeah, I've heard it's good too. I just haven't been to the cinema for a while.
They both heard good things. I haven't heard anything. Sorry, Alex. You should go see it and let us know.
Take us with you.
Will the Imp Idol animations include a smoking animation? I personally wish so, but I doubt it.
Yeah. So here we have the Founders theme without the core, unfortunately, because the core was not there yet. So that's the evil enemy Twitch TV Underlord is using that. And then the player is using the Kickstarter dungeon theme. They don't have lights yet.
Which is why it looks a bit dull.
Yeah, and the core here isn't working yet either. I don't know if the workers will work either. We'll wait and see.
We'll find out.
What?
I said we'll find out.
We will find out.
Are you going to allow mods? We hope that modding will be easy within the game, but we don't know yet. It's kind of outside of the scope of what we know will work right now. Will torturing your own creatures have any benefit? I don't know if you can. Can you?
You can. You don't torture them. You burn them.
You can burn them to death
Like spirits.
to make spirits, but you can't convert them back to your own side because that would be silly.
Okay, so theoretically, this level should load.
Fingers crossed. You mentioned you want to try and get this tool available for public use to make maps. Is there anything in the meantime we can play with to possibly contribute to the project? If you play like the first few weeks whenever a patch launches and make bug reports, that helps so very much. Wow, it actually works.
Dungeon Core does work. It doesn't animate, as you may see. There are no effects, as you may see, but it is there.
It's missing
So
some candles.
that's cool. The workers are unfortunately just normal workers right now, I think. Yes. But, you know, that's a start. So we can turn Fog of War off and go look at the other guy. If it doesn't crash.
You can definitely go play some Rust, the game.
There we go. There we go. And there is the Founders theme core. Also, no effects or
I
animations.
love that core. I wish I was a founder so I could get it.
So you can actually see the little statues. These are meant to represent our wonderful Founders Club.
You like this? Can we see this on Steam Workshops in the future if you implement modding? That's the goal. We don't know yet though. Skikert. Technically, it is a very high number in terms of how many people we can get into a multiplayer game. We don't know how many would be able to join before it crashed. What are you doing there?
I'm trying to dig, but I don't think it's working. It's not updating correctly.
Huh. I think in the future we're aiming for 4, which will probably be fun. If more than 4 is fun, we can do that too.
Okay, that's just...
Map's a little bit broken, but...
Don't use the debug tools.
Will the minimap eventually rotate along with the camera? Would that be helpful? Would that help you?
We can try it. I don't know if that will work well.
That might be an option.
We're trying to emulate the StarCraft 2 minimap at the moment because everyone seems to like that.
That one works really well. I really like it. I just kept shouting at you about it when you asked me.
Yeah. Okay.
If the minimap will rotate, please make it an option. Yeah, I don't think it would be something that we would make standard. That sounds like a small sort of case. Sorry, so Kurt, any number between 2 and 6, maybe 2 and 8, if we think that that will work. But definitely 4. Just requires more testing.
Okay, so we're gonna try again without using the digging sheet. We're gonna show you some cool new things. We need some space there.
Mackinac wants to know if we collect data on various stuffs like playtime, rooms built, number of minions.
At the moment we don't, but we are actually looking to do that very soon. Simply because having those statistics will help us make a better game. Just plain and simple. Wait.
Start somewhere else.
Something's not right.
Oh, it needs more doors.
And these don't get dug out either.
Could you change the claim gems on the ground on larger tiles? Like convert a 5x5 room to display another alignment?
Something is seriously wrong with my map.
Pratchidin. I'm assuming that's mostly correct. The reason that we're not going to do that is because tiles are the main space is a huge resource in this game. And if for some reason you weren't able to instantly tell how large a room was, say by counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles along one side and 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side, it would be really hard to build a room quickly and to understand how large a room was, like if you're scouting an enemy or what have you. Short answer, no. But good question. When do you guys plan on becoming a Greed Corporation after a few successful games? It's only going to take 1 successful game. If this one works out well, we're going to take our money and build WFTO Crusher. Is that what we're calling it?
Yes.
We already have the gems above the tiles.
Candy Crush Stumpy. Stumpy Crush Saga.
Stumpy Crush Saga.
Stumpy
That's
Crush
what it's going to be called. Not... Oh wait, Candy Crushy? Crushy Stumpy Cock?
I don't know. We'll roll the dice.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Don't worry about the name right now. You'll know us.
We'll sue the others.
Yeah.
Using some of names. Okay, so it's working now. That's a good thing.
Look how beautiful those tiles are.
I know, right?
If I were watching right now, it's very beautiful. You can't quite read them from here. Well, maybe you have better eyes than I do. Who's that guy?
I don't know who's that guy. This is not working very well.
It really doesn't work well. DM.
Oh look!
The worker.
Who's that? He's not watching at the moment.
Oh, Lee. We love Lee. What is Stumpy's Survival Challenge?
Oh shit, that's something we can check. Let me possess again.
It's amazing. That's what it is.
Where'd my worker go?
I made at least they're all in that room.
Yeah. So, yeah, look up. What is that?
Holy shit! Is that a ceiling?
That's a ceiling.
Is that a ceiling?
It's still a work in progress, but we have a ceiling.
It makes it feel so much more enclosed.
Yeah, there's an earth ceiling as well before it gets rudely claimed, but yeah. We have a ceiling.
It's nice. You don't realize how nice it is until you play
Yes.
a different build.
Anyway, rooms. Oh, there's no gateways in this map.
Well, you can still spawn. You can cheat.
I have a theory.
What did I miss? Why is the lighting so horrible? This is a theme that isn't currently in the game. Gravelin. So none of the light or effects are hooked up to it. We were just showing off the
Is it spell pen? Room spell?
spawn unit.
No idea.
It's G if you want to do the pretty one. Or is it B?
Spell room, I guess. Okay, now I'm gonna see if I can spawn a gateway inside the game.
That seems like a really bad idea.
Yeah.
Will there be chandeliers? No, but that's a really good idea inside like the tavern. In general though. What? That's crazy.
It actually worked.
I think Nerd Cubed actually... Didn't he speak to us?
No, I don't think so.
We have heard of him. Maybe I had a dream that I talked to him.
I'm impressed that worked.
Yeah, that really shouldn't have worked. It should have, but it's weird that it did.
Well, now we have to see if units actually spawn.
Pink Pantere.
Yes,
Pink
it worked.
Panther.
Look,
What? Whoa.
I'm so happy.
What the hell?
I know.
There's no limit to how long you can possess creatures. The only downside when you're possessing is that you can't do any other micromanaging bits. So naturally that means that your dungeon could fall quite easily. To answer Pink Panther's question, Pink Panther. I know our audio guys are looking at that idea, that when fights get more intense and you gold, the music will pick up. I'm not sure how well that's going on, but I know it's something they want to do. For those of you just joining us, please ignore a lot of the meshes, most of the lights.
Yeah, there's a bunch of little minor graphical issues like this. The disco lights in here. Oh, they are fixed. Okay. There's just a bunch of little issues, graphical issues, but they are getting fixed.
Abolish time zones.
Here is a new cool thing, which we showed briefly somewhere. I don't know if this was public.
It was not.
Okay. So this is an underminer. So you can actually place this anywhere. So this doesn't have to be placed on your claimed territory. I just don't have unclaimed territory I can place it on. Oh, actually, you know what I can do? I can use the impasse spell. That really helpful spell we have. Here we are. I'll do another one over here. Anyway, so you click on it, and it dramatically
drills and spins and burns and oh god, oh what's gonna happen? I'm nervous.
Ooh.
Oh.
Anyway, the main use for those is when you are actually attacking enemy dungeons, because that will actually break through claimed walls. So where are we?
It won't be quite as destructive as you just saw.
Yeah, no, that's a bit too strong. But it's very cool. We can place one over here, as we can see, unclaimed territory. Okay, you're meant to be able to.
Just plus it. Just F4 plus it.
Normally that works. But yes, let's get rid of that.
Oh, don't worry, Homeburger. Earlier today, I was working on one of the levels, and for about 45 minutes, I forgot to save, and then it crashed naturally.
Which new thing? Should we try potions or ritual stuff?
Potions. You are the potions master.
Okay. No space bar. There we go.
Success. Sick.
Oh, it's
You need it
F2.
open.
F2. There we go.
Man, that room looks so good.
This is the alchemy lab. Again, ignore the horrible black squares and things.
It needs some lighting, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but this is the alchemy lab.
Fire Eye, yes, there's still a way to rebuild walls within the game. It's called a replacement wall.
Apparently there are no potions in this build. They do work.
There are potions, just not quite right here.
Let's do rituals.
Will the treasury have gold piles bigger than 1 square? Saber 2X, no, for a couple reasons. The short answer is that it's very... You already gold
Round
again.
of gold.
You need to be able to tell at a glance how much gold either you
There are no
control,
rituals either.
or more importantly, how much gold your enemy might have. Like, let's say you use the prophecy spell over their dungeon.
I'm really sad that that's not there. No, I mean, Adam, you're watching. Can you try and figure out why that is? Why there are no potions or rituals in this book?
Is Adam watching?
That's Hamburger. You said he's there. Yeah, here he is.
Hmm?
He's there. He's there. Anyway, you can look at the sanctuary. Yes, he is.
Okay. I agree. 5 points from Gryffindor. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh.
I paused.
Ah.
Anyway, here's the room. It's very pretty.
Oh, it actually has lights on the walls.
Yes.
Follow the floor.
Yeah, we're still working on the blood pool. It needs some improvement, but it's still looking very pretty. As you can see, the cultists will come in here, and currently they just stand.
They just stand and stare at the altar, but...
Yes. Needs more steamy pipes. There's quite a lot of pipes.
There's a lot of steam going on in this room.
This isn't quite done either. We are gonna have liquid flowing through the pipes. And I guess we should steam coming out of these vents too.
Hmm?
Steam coming out of these vents too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Isn't that... Oh, okay. Yes, there will be more steam. Don't worry about it. Would you take in Satan as your true savior? Done. When it comes to competitive play, do you guys feel to intend for PvP more than dungeon unlocking and solo play? We want both. It's like we'll have our normal campaign and survival, as well as probably a few other tidbits that will make their way in. And then multiplayer will naturally just be a thing that exists that people can gravitate to if they get bored of single player. We're not pushing for either. We want people to enjoy. Hopefully both.
Pretty.
Seems to be missing one important bit. Make it 4x3 first? Or 4x6?
Yeah, maybe.
It's because you built it as an awkward size.
There we go.
Ah! Okay, does not work, it's not square. Good note.
Okay.
Look at that pig cannon.
This is the pig cannon.
Ugh. Sorry, the spit roast?
Yeah, that's bit. You don't get to see the walls though. I'm really sad.
Well, who built this stupid sized room?
That's the Underminer, actually.
Damn, Underminer.
Let's
just take it outside square.
Let's build an. Oh, yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Decayed walls and tiles are a little twisted and warped, so they look more natural. That takes a huge amount of effort, turns out. At least in...
Well, it's not so much the effort, it's the problem is walls in Dungeon Keeper were just cubes, pretty much, that were distorted, with little props attached to them. Our walls are not cubes, they are infinitely more complex. As such, distorting them is a lot more expensive, performance-wise. It's just not a realistic thing for us to do, without an absolute crap ton of technical work putting into it. We agree, it would look cool, but it's just not realistic to happen, unfortunately.
It'd be a huge endeavor for a small graphical game.
There we go.
Look at that spit roast. That's a dining hall. You could feed everyone on the stream right now.
That is correct. Oh, that's stupid. Yeah. So the fireplaces would look cooler if they were working correctly. This is the tavern.
That is the spit roast. It's my favorite prop in the game. Thank you for asking, Dark Sock.
Let's use the new spell.
Yes, let's do that. What is my favorite race in all StarCraft games? No, not Protoss.
Why?
It fluctuates. I'm generally a Zerg fanboy.
Oh, I just use them. Okay, so that spell was Blood Money. What it does is you can use it on any of your units or any imprisoned units. Yes, there's no gold. I'll show you.
Ah, damn it.
So yes.
The cool part's not there.
You can see here these chundas are now being mined. So you use it on you use it on any unit you have control of. So a friendly unit or an imprisoned unit. And it will literally turn them into a gold statue. Okay. This is slightly Oh, you can also slap it, yeah, to make the dog. There you go. In future, the animation will stop and they will turn solid gold. We actually do have a picture.
Why is he carrying a pig? Oh, right.
He
There's a
carries
tavern
it to
right
the
now.
tavern.
Yeah, I didn't realize he built a tavern. I was like, that shouldn't be in. +1 to Antcon question. What's Antcon's question?
Oh, how does the tavern work? Okay, so the tavern works.
What a good question.
How does the tavern work?
I said, what a good question.
Oh.
It's a really good question.
It is a good question. Okay, so how does the tavern work? So the way the tavern works, it's not quite visually there yet, but the workers, you will see, I will wait for one to come. Okay,
There he is.
There you go. So the workers are gnarlings. They can get pigs. Obviously, at the moment, the pig is just following them. And then they will throw the pig into the oven, and there'll be some grotesque sound and animation with blood and
Some
guts
blood
everywhere.
spouting out the top.
Very
yeah.
nasty. You'll also be able to drop units in there, which is also very nasty. And then what will happen is this little cannon bit will shoot
Meals.
delicious cooked meals onto the plates. And then your units will walk up to the plates and eat the delicious meals and
He's waiting for delivery.
become very happy. Well, no, the food is actually there, it's just invisible. And he's just eating with his mind. There you go, he left because he had eaten a nice mind
Some
meal.
phantom tofu stuff right there.
Yes.
Alright.
Yes.
Cookie Lord wants to know, what are the Chundras currently manufacturing? So did we finish explaining this room?
The tavern?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and the tavern will also make your minions happy.
People love food. Plus, look how warm and cozy it is. Well, I mean, not right now because the fireplace is a little bit broken, but it will. Promise. What are the Chundras currently manufacturing? So they just like to work. Even if you don't have specific things that... Sorry.
I know why
Josh
it's not
is right.
working.
Why?
The potions and rituals. Adam just told me. Oh, he told me.
Wait, hold on, let me finish this answer. So they just like to work, and they'll create like generic defense parts for you, and then once you place down a blueprint or two, they'll be able to be immediately created by your workers.
Are you going to sell the cannon idea to restaurants? No, but when we become millionaires, we will open our own restaurant where we fire the meals at the customers.
That's a really good idea.
You'll have to sign a waiver before entering.
We're gonna be so rich.
I know. Okay, right, I need to fix the potions and rituals.
Okay. Any plans for any type of werewolf in the game? We have things that are so much better than werewolves. Get out of here. Ceiling King, the colored lights on the walls have been dimmed. You won't see it right now because we're using an incomplete theme.
Although I'm now using a normal theme.
You will now use a normal theme and you will be able to see the dimmer lights. We got a lot of feedback saying that they were too bright, so let us know how this looks. Specifically you, Ceiling King. In fact, I only want to hear from you.
Ceiling King, have you seen the ceiling yet?
He did
So
see
these are the new lights out. The floor is still wrong.
Floor's wrong, but those are the new
Yeah,
tile
so basically
toppers.
what we did is we changed it to being a mesh light as opposed to being something effects driven. So we're able to actually adjust the color a lot more. I think we need to actually make that a bit less pale and more the color a bit more deep.
Mhm.
But yeah, as you can see, they're a lot less intrusive right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, problem is I'm now going to claim tiles and they're going to be a different theme. My dungeon's going to look so messy.
You'll be the only one that cares. Pratt Chidin asks, any chance to make the extra structures like the tables in the tavern not appear on a 3x3 tile only? The symmetry makes it look unnatural. Needs a way to organize them. There is a way, but it's user-driven. So you just need to not dig out a couple tiles. The added bonus of this is that you get more wall tiles. In fact, Josh will make a room like this right now.
What am I doing?
Make like a 5x7 room, but leave a couple undug so the props still spawn, but not next to each other in a big line. You know what I'm saying? The
5 by
larger
7.
room, well, whatever, like an
5 by
8
7
by
is
8.
really efficient.
8 by 8. And leave a couple things. It doesn't have to be efficient, just make a large room to show off. Just leave like a handful of things not dug out.
Well, like pillars.
Yeah, pillars. So that the props are staggered.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
What effect will you have for when a creature levels up? Probably none outside of their shield being updated to show their new level. Will the overall speed of the game be adjustable?
Yeah, actually, we have a slow motion button right now, but I think it breaks the game.
It breaks it a little bit, but not entirely.
Yeah.
You really want to make it symmetrical, don't you?
I'm making it nice and neat and cool. There we go.
Okay. Slightly darker shade. Yeah, we agree. We think they need to be a tiny bit darker as well. Or more rich.
These?
Yeah.
Yeah, vibrant is the word.
That's a good word, too. Can you throw stuff other than piglets? You can throw enemies, or even your own units. Yes?
Not yes, but yes.
Yes. Not yet, but yes. Sure, next question. Will there only be one meat tavern per meat cannon per tavern?
No, we want there to be more.
Right now there only is one, but in the future probably not. I like the idea of generic defense parts. We'd like it too.
They just keep gold, right?
It feels a lot cleaner, plus then you don't have the issue. Well, it's better. We're glad you like it. If you throw a trolley, a fat, and a female creature in the sanctuary, will be a pretty horny thoughts. Underlord message. That is amazing.
What?
If you throw a trolley, a fat, and a female creature in the sanctuary, will say pretty horny thoughts. Cannibalism might be a thing, though only for a few minions, because, you know, odds are you don't have a dungeon entirely full of the same kind of minion. Will you continue to update the editor after release? How many years can we expect to have support for the game improvements? We plan on working on it for a while.
As long as we can. I mean,
there's so much we want to do for the game.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. And it's not like we'll ever abandon it and take away bits.
Yeah, what would be the point in taking bits away?
Well, some games do that.
Right? We're not mentioning any names.
So yes.
Okay, so that's still not working. I assumed it would be there. No, I did it wrong.
Embarrassing.
Indeed. Okay.
Wait, build the room first.
Oh. What room?
The room. You dug out the room specifically to show off.
Sorry, I'll do that next time.
What is the process like, and how often do you guys tweak the internal balance of the game? We haven't since months.
Yeah, about 2 months ago was the last balance pass.
When we first released our internal multiplayer build, we did a balance pass. Since then, we have not. When multiplayer is released for real, we'll probably do one more. Actually, we'll probably do a couple over a series of days.
We'll do it every patch.
Yeah. What are your top 3 favorite games of all time? That's such a tough question. For me, it'd be Grim Fandango. Probably StarCraft.
W faction. What?
What's
I'm
the
so
third
confused.
one? Can we get a better look at those crackpots? I agree, they look really good.
Hang on.
I can only say 2.
I see. I understand.
All defense parts are generic. Toby Newman. And they are physically stored in the foundry. You can see them. They're little crates. I agree. We need a better look at the crackpots. What will angry creatures do? Generally try to leave, though some might have different responses. I think it's fair to say that it'll be dependent upon what kind of creature it is. Yes, Josh?
Sorry, what?
What will creatures do when they're angry? Depends on the unit. For the most part.
Yes.
Depends on the unit. If your dungeon is being attacked, can the tavern cannon be used as a weapon? I think that might strike a little bit too close to something else. Do you think there'd ever be 2 different factions of heroes, like some from the Far East, the ones we see are the Western heroes? It's something we do. I mean, we have a lot of free reign when it comes to that. This one, 2, okay, we did that one.
Sorry, what?
If you had to choose to be one of the units from your game, which units would both of you be? Josh, what unit would you be?
Bafu.
A Bafu?
I don't know, actually. I'll have to think about
You
that.
look like a Bafu.
Thanks.
Yeah. What was the question?
Bafus don't have ears.
Don't they?
No, they just have little holes.
Hmm. You'd think they'd have bigger ears.
Yeah.
Seeing as they don't have eyes.
And they use Sonics.
Yeah.
To navigate.
I
think that was a design oversight.
That is the. Oh,
Am I not on the screen? Am I? Sorry,
kind of.
I'm preoccupied.
I would be. That's such a tough question. I think I'd be the succubus. But only if she had a tail.
Okay, I'm now using the Founders theme because I can.
Is it gonna work this time?
Yes. We will make your singing room.
Thank you, Josh. Oh, everyone. In case we didn't say, that's Josh. This guy right there with the glasses.
Hello.
This is James. Hi. He's CEO, lead designer, and a bunch of other things. I'm James. I write and I talk. And that's Alistair. I don't want to break it.
You should just be. Alistair, you
Come say
can
hi. Come say hi. You can even sit right there.
If you've been banned from the forums, it's probably Alistair.
Oh, don't blame me.
This is Alistair.
Hello.
You know. Oh, well, actually,
It's
that's
not going to show
delay.
in 20 seconds, yeah.
Yes, there we go.
He is our forum guru and king. If you got banned, it was that guy. Will the option menu have many options? It's going to have at least 2.
What about the FOV slider, James?
Will it have an FOV slider? We get that question asked a lot. Question, where's Sammy? That is probably the most pertinent question asked tonight.
He was downstairs. I fed him before we came up.
He's out exploring. Will the option menu, most importantly, have an FOV slider?
I don't know.
We don't know.
I guess we'll have an FOV slider for
It'll be
possession.
Yeah,
Although actually, different FOV for each unit is probably
that makes more sense.
It makes more sense because we want to, give each unit its own feel. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I forget who asked this question. I know their name was in green. Noon! Hi!
Oh, damn it. Now, maybe this is the correct gravestone, isn't it? No. No.
No. No.
Here lies Lee. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. Lee, watch.
Will it run Crisis? Yes.
Oh, I've lost it. It was this one.
Maybe it changed.
It's not meant to change.
Wait, no, it was this. It's this one. Oh no, it's that one. It's this one.
It's this one, yeah.
There you go. Wait, I think you just did a full loop.
Never mind.
For the swarm, Alex. So someone asked at some point, can you make it so that rooms look less? Or, well, okay. Go a little bit that way. Did you choose green due to Kickstarter being green?
No, this character was just this
faction
was just green.
Yeah, this Underlord is green, but
this theme is meant to be used with purple.
Yes. So no, we didn't choose green for Kickstarter.
Actually, the backer theme is green, but
Yes.
that was just because we wanted it to be.
No, I mean for the swarm.
What?
Nothing.
I love that works.
Me too. It's really satisfying.
Okay. Is this the room you wanted to show? Hey, look, it's a room.
Yeah. It still looks too organized.
Mm.
Like you kind of defeated the purpose, but it's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. Say you can
I'm
offset
not
things. And make
sorry.
it. No, I know you're not. That's okay. Josh, how's the bard process coming along?
The what? Sorry.
Is that your friend?
Yes. Go away, Chris. You're not wanted here.
He says, not very well, but I promise to keep pestering him. Is Warfare World not lagging after the patch? It's actually a lot smoother.
Yes. No, there are most certainly performance updates. but it's still a work in progress as far as that's concerned. We are going to spend a lot of time working on performance closer to release. The problem is every time we add a new feature in, it sort of ruins the previous performance.
Things happen.
It's sort of much easier for us to do it all at the end.
Mm-hmm. Alex, feel free to post it on our forums. About how long do you expect before the game is finished? This year. So less than, how many months in are we? 3? Less than 9 months.
Just over 9 months.
Just
For the rest of the year.
Yes, so it'll be less than 9 months.
It will be less than 9 months, yes.
Are you able to rotate your view? You are with the middle mouse, actually.
Yeah, so you may have seen this is very easy to do now. The mouse. Whee. Right, so we have potions now.
Make a potion.
I'm making a potion.
Drop it. Oh, what's that? Is that a potion?
That's a potion. It's not a...
That looks like a pill.
It's not a giant pill.
That looks like a suppository.
I promise it's not. I promise. Where are you?
Where are you going?
I'm digging this guy. Does he have workers? He does.
Freeze him.
Yeah.
Get him.
I'm digging.
You're digging all the way there. I think it's probably easier to
Yeah, I'll just cheat.
subtract.
Okay. You know what? I can just F4. There we go.
Oh, they're gonna clean it.
They are. That's rude. No. Rude. Rude.
Okay.
Okay, well, I need to actually pick the potion up before I can drop it,
Yeah.
so let's go do that. Pick up.
Pick up.
Here's the potion.
We want it to be really big so that you knew you held a massive potion.
Okay. Okay, so let's... There we go. So this is the quick freeze potion.
Look at that. It's just a big ice cube.
So, this will be real ice. At the moment, it is not real ice. Essentially, what you can do is you can drop this potion down, and it will freeze a large area, as you can see. Anything inside is frozen, and nothing can path into it. So it's very good for buying time when enemies are attacking you.
Question, what's the time?
Shut up, John.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is John Barker, Rubberfish. He likes to text me the time because it comes up on my watch. Rubberfish is one of our Tier 12 backers, so I allow him to do this without filing a restraining order.
Mm-hmm. Zorinus. Yes, the game will be released this year. Assuming you're also in 2014. If you're not, I can't help you. It might already be out. If you're in the future.
The giant pill potion does not vibrate.
Well, it might.
Right, let's try the other potion. Let's see if it works.
I think we need a room that people actually work in. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a foundry. We can have a
I
foundry.
don't think you built one. Yeah. Is this the new UI? No. For those of you just tuning in, we're a tiny bit behind on our not.4 patch. God, he looks cool. No, wait, go back in. Actually, possess someone and go look at him.
Okay.
So the new UI isn't there quite yet. We have a post on our website and our forums and on Kickstarter. God, his bottles look so good. That's a crackpot.
Yes. He looks very cool when he dies, so let's do that.
You get some knock unconscious or dies?
Knocks unconscious. It's the same one. Actually, he'll do it when he goes to sleep, so let's make him sleep.
Alright. Where are you going? Where are you sleeping? Ugh.
There you go.
Bottles everywhere.
This will be fixed too, this like square. That's annoying.
The enemies that you freeze will be chilled, slow move after the ice break.
Sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Will the mentor tell me at 3 AM? Probably not at 3 AM. See, the problem is that we're across a bunch of different time zones. So if we choose one time...
No, it would use the system time. That's fine.
Yeah, but I think it makes more sense if it says it at like noon, because that's
It
when I
is.
go to bed.
Stop being incorrect.
Or work.
No.
So some of this will be the stuff that you have soon, although the UI will look much better. as well as all
Yeah,
a
sorry.
bunch of the walls and other
Just
things.
say, this build you're seeing right now, this is what we're going to be pushing to the preview branch. So everything you're seeing, you will be able to use. Just as you can see, I'm
Okay.
having to use the console to access a lot of it. How much smarter will the AI be?
Eventually.
There is no AI at the moment for the enemies, the enemy keepers. Sorry, enemy underlords. There is none. Everything they do is currently pre-scripted by us, which is very little. They don't do very much at the moment, so
Oh, we can show you that now.
soon.
Perfect segue.
Soon.
Perfect segue.
Right, now we will show you the Work A Lot potion. Can I...
It's somewhere in there. I don't think he made one.
I can see it. It's an ice cube. He's still working on it.
Not hard enough. Oh, it is an ice cube.
Okay. Good segue to another spell. This is the Obey spell. It has no visuals at the moment, but you'll have to believe me that it's working. So you cast it on one of your dudes, and he will then work a lot faster, and he will not stop working if he is hungry or tired.
It's forced labor, basically.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is not working though. Make my potion. Oh, you can see the percentage.
Almost done.
Oh,
Here it
it's
comes.
just taking forever.
Ah!
There we
It's
go.
that pill.
It's a
Oh,
nice.
that's a nice
Okay,
pill.
so you can see the speed at which these chandas are working right now. And then if I drop this on this chanda,
1, 2, 3.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3. Ah!
you can see that he is working significantly faster.
Not balanced yet, but working.
Indeed.
Are you guys ready to announce on the release date that you're going to delay it for another year? We can't afford to, and also we believe it will be done.
Yes.
So don't worry about it.
Oh, we could afford to, but we don't want to.
Yeah, that would be awful. Is it radius based? Because the one on the bottom left isn't working.
It wasn't there previously.
Ah,
But it is radius based, yes.
nice. Someone caught your slip.
Yes, I think that's a bit fast.
Are you guys going to... Oh, right, that one.
Excellent. What are the spells?
You continue.
I can't remember what else we did. Oh, replacement walls. Everyone likes that.
I think we showed them off through easy, didn't we?
People have been asking me still.
Okay. No, that's not over here. Yeah, it's dying. Oh, hi, Dan. Josh would be the bard. Duh. I agree, Dan. Dan, one of our audio men, messaged me talking about Josh being the bard. Everyone harass him while I'm gone.
I will not give in to any pressure.
Really?
There's no pressure.
Right. Build, I think it's spawn trap replacement wall. There we go. As you can see, the visuals are highly detailed. So yes, basically you'll build it as a defense. Your workers will bring the parts over, and then it will turn into a wall. And these workers are going to trap themselves in, but it doesn't matter. Or maybe not. Can you not use the Work Harder potion on Unity? Unfortunately not. That would be nice. Kirsty, I won't be your friend anymore if you do that. You will be not my friend. You don't think Josh should sing. Our Twitch channel would get banned. Only gaming content is allowed. No music. I think that's everything. Let me just check that I've not forgotten any new little
Piglins.
No, I'm talking in-game things. I think we've... I'm going to show you Shockwave anyway. I think we've seen it before. Lowercase? Okay, apparently I'm not allowed to use Shockwave. What is it called?
They all want to hear you sing.
I know, well, I don't always give the people what they want. Shock. It is shock wave with a capital W. There we go. Oh, go on. Okay, so this spell is amusing. You can knock people around the map. Obviously, much better at using against enemies who are attacking you. Oh yes, units. How could I forget? We do have a lot of new units to show you. Let's just go with the first letters. We have an E, a B, and an S.
BBS?
EBS. Which one do we want to see first?
BBS. B.
You don't get to decide.
I don't get to choose?
No.
I can type it in right there.
No.
Espressos Americano.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the rituals as well. God, I'm so bad. Okay, we'll do the rituals after the new units.
Cheers, everyone on stream.
Man, the delay is so big.
What about it? BBS?
Yeah.
Just do the rituals.
I know what I said that. There you go. B. Okay. 2 people said B. 3 people said B.
See?
John knows what it is. 4. Okay, fine. B. Overwhelming B.
Everyone knows B.
Bang.
Oh, look how big it is!
It's the behemoth.
Oh, the behemoth, as some might say.
No, as the behemoth, as the correct people would say.
As some might say.
He is.
Ah! Don't
very
get crushed. He's gonna run you over.
Yeah, he's very big, as you can see. He still needs a little bit of work. I think we should have a bit of glowiness on him. Maybe his
He
eyes.
needs some light.
Yeah. But he's very big and scary. We could spawn some enemy units for him to kill. And he will now chase them around. Oh, I think they're a bit too fast.
Wait, did you do the workers?
Yes.
You should know.
Oh,
I was complaining about it all day, was it?
Workers can't get hit. I forgot about that.
Well, I just saw one die.
Yeah, no, workers can hit workers.
Oh, it's just
For
workers.
some reason, nothing can hit workers right now. Let me spawn something else.
Take control.
I bet rituals have cool noises. Can you tell us just how cool the noises are? Dante.
Okay, there we go. Oh, you just saw the crackpot. Use an ability. Crackpot, use another ability. Go. Oh no, he doesn't.
He's out of ammo.
Crackpot, go.
That's a known
There we go.
Hunter.
He's using another ability here, so this is an AoE buff that he has. And he is throwing all his potions at melee range for some reason at the Templar.
Boom.
Boom. Okay, that's the behemoth. I think I saw an E as well, so we'll do the E. I'm surprised no one's at S. I think the S is probably the coolest, maybe.
There was one S at the very top.
Okay.
S is last.
Yes. Ember Demons.
Hello. Oh, look at them.
Look at the Ember
They're
Demons.
so tiny and cute.
They are Ember Demons.
I just want to put one in a Pokeball. What's the spirit chamber for? Storing spirits. It's not accurate. Oh, that's my favorite bug in the game.
Yeah, when you pick the Ember Demon up, he does that.
Oh yeah.
Does he have his death animation? 'Cause his death animation is very cool. No, he doesn't. That's a shame. Will there be a toilet room? There will not be a toilet room.
Strawberry.
I apologize.
Strawberry is the best flavor of ice cream.
Now, the S.
Will it be a holodeck? How do you think we made this whole game?
This is the shadow. Everyone has been asking for scary things. This thing is scary.
It stalks the shadows.
Yes. I'll wait for him to use. He has a cool ability where he'll do it in a second.
Surprised he hasn't done it yet.
I know, he should have done it already.
Whenever I summon him, he does it instantly.
Maybe he did do it instantly.
He looks so cool.
I'm getting impatient now.
He's not gonna do it.
Why is it doing? I'm really sad. You know, he might have done it when he was standing still, which would have meant he wouldn't have moved because his target would have been on top of him.
Ah.
Maybe we just
Clever.
have to keep following him.
Which ways will there be for levels to unit, or for levels to unit up? Yeah, that's almost what you said. Units can gain experience by fighting enemy units,
I don't know, Dante. Does he have cool noises? Maybe you could send me one on Skype.
by training
Okay.
in one
The
of
Shadow
two
has a
ways.
teleport ability, but he isn't using it.
He doesn't want to use them.
He's misbehaving.
And also maybe one or two other ways, which you'll find out in future 4th the Overworld Wednesday updates. Make the Slender Man noises for others. Does Slender Man have like specific noises they're always attributed to him? I was not aware. Look at his eyes. They're scary.
He really doesn't want to teleport, does he?
Nope.
It used to work.
If only you could possess him and use his abilities.
Yeah, I know. Well, for people who weren't here earlier, we will show you the ceiling. The game has a ceiling now, which you can see above you now, in the ceiling, which is very nice.
And a bit where a ceiling should be.
Indeed. And he's inside the chest. Please teleport.
He's not going to
I tell you what we can do.
rally behind a wall.
No, no, because his teleport's actually a dash. Okay, so we put him in his own rally group. We are going to... Let's just have that wall off.
It's gonna be a drag race.
So we will put his flag over here. And then we'll put him on the other side. And hopefully he will
Wait,
teleport.
did you actually group him, or did you like?
I grouped. There we go.
Here he goes. Come on, do it.
He's not gonna do it.
Come on, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Come on, bud. Come on, bud. That's an Airbud reference.
Seriously, he just doesn't...
So the ability might not be hooked up, but don't worry about it.
It was working.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Will there be fine art painted on the ceiling? That's an excellent idea. Perhaps another use for imprisoned workers or imprisoned enemies.
Okay, I give up. This guy.
Will imps level up by working and eventually gain abilities like teleport?
Workers will never teleport because it's very imbalanced and it breaks the game. Sorry.
Workers won't teleport. According to that guy, and his word's kind of the last one. And we're not really sure about the leveling yet. I think we want them to. We just haven't figured out the best way.
Yeah. So we have another thing we can show. Worker Rally, which is not the final name. It's the name that we have because we're bad at names. Let's untype that for a moment. Okay, so Worker Rally. How do we best demonstrate this? We will dig out 2 rooms to demonstrate.
Mm-hmm.
And we will put a Worker Rally flag now. Oops. It
Alex,
currently just looks like impossible.
Alex, I hope that's a huge unit, because that's my favorite bug.
Actually, we don't want it on there. Okay, so theoretically what should happen now is they should only do the left one, and until the left one is done, they will ignore the right hand one. Maybe, possibly.
Fingers crossed. We're making history right here with you guys. This is like landing on the moon.
It's not going to work, is it?
It might, though. Maybe it's not close. Oh! You see? He wanted to go back, but then he went left.
Yeah, maybe it's because of the radius. Yeah, they should all prioritize
More
those
are
tasks.
going left.
There you go. Yeah, anyway, you can see it kind of working now. They're sort of ignoring
Oh
this
yeah, the
one.
radius is really small. They were just going left because...
No, that's just the visuals. It's meant to be a 5x5.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, as you can see here, what Worker Rally basically, it lets you prioritize certain areas over others. So a lot of people have been asking that they want to be able to reorder the tasks manually within some sort of list.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought,
This is how you do it.
yeah, well instead of putting it in a little list in the UI, we thought it was a bit clunky, and we thought if you go to the end result, what people want to do is they think, I want claiming to be first, so they do this specific thing here first. So we thought we'd cut out the middle sections if we say, put a flag down, or it's probably not going to be a flag, it will
Just
be
do
something.
these bits around this area.
Yes, do these things first. On top of that, when you place one of these flags down, the workers won't flee. Normally they now flee away from enemies, which you will be very happy to hear. But when you place this flag down, they will not run away. They will keep working until they die or are finished.
So, like, if you really want to try to get back some minions from a battlefield, they'll attempt to grab them instead of fleeing away from the enemies. We will be able to drop workers on neutral tiles. Yes, 1 tile away from the claim tiles. As now. Yes, right now it's working as intended, I believe.
Yes.
I think the only possible way that wouldn't work is that if you and an enemy are tiles adjacent to one another with one unclaimed in between.
Correct.
So for the most part, that'll always work. There are a few edge cases where it won't, but that's when enemies are really close to you. As Moon says.
Rituals.
You didn't show those off yet? I was gone for like an hour.
You weren't. Okay, so we have 4 rituals. We don't even have a crit.
From above, those look like little smiley faces when you turn the camera.
What do?
Maybe I was just looking at it out of the corner of my eye. Never mind. Ignore me. Kind of nice though.
Okay, we will show Avarice first. Okay, so Avarice is a pretty cool ritual. So what Avarice lets you do, well, let's prepare it. So this is our very advanced rituals UI. You select a ritual and then this progress bar fills up a lot faster than it should do. That's these occultists are working in here. And then you can press the button again to cast it. So what Avarice will do, I think it's actually broken, but we'll try it anyway. Once you cast it, it will drain my mana, although I have infinite mana. It will drain my mana and slowly convert it into gold. So a lot of people liked the create gold spell from another game.
I think it was only 1 game. I'm pretty sure you can just say that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
We thought we'd do something a bit different. It still has a sort of similar end result, but you have to put a lot more time and effort into it. As you can see here, yes, because I have infinite mana, it's giving me infinite gold, so that's a bit silly.
That's a really smart way of doing it. Step 1, get infinite gold. Step 2, turn off.
Infinite mana.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, if you just started infinite gold, I think you cut out the middleman there.
Yes. Now we're going to show Fortify, because that's a really cool one.
Plus it has really great sound design, I hear, Dante.
I don't think it has any of them. Does it? Well,
I hear it's going to have really good sound design, Dante.
Yeah, when we actually put it in the game.
Dante.
Dante, why don't you send me some sound design that you've done, and I will play it for our lovely viewers. Okay, so we're going to show Fortify. So Fortify, when you cast it, it will... do nothing.
Wait, did you actually cast it?
Yes.
Wait, but I've seen it work before.
Yeah, I know.
It may have broken. Dante didn't have time to repair.
Yeah, okay. So what Fortify does is it will basically claim any tile adjacent to your territory. It will claim and repair any tile adjacent to your territory. So if you're sort of rapidly expanding or you're under attack, you can cast Fortify to repair or replace all of your walls, basically.
Yep.
Wither, I can't really demonstrate that because it sort of only works in multiplayer. Someone earlier asked, is there a ritual which drains your enemy's mana? That is Wither.
That's the one right there.
Yep. At the moment, mechanically what it's actually doing is it prevents your enemy's mana from regenerating. So if your enemy has 400 mana, and you use Wither, it doesn't regenerate for 30 seconds. So for 30 seconds they cannot do more than that 400 mana that they have.
Really good if your enemies have a lot of gargoyles.
Yes.
Just saying.
I need to build a crypt.
Is there a dungeon theme where everything is fart noises?
No, because we aren't 12.
It's called the Josh theme.
What the hell just happened there?
Was that a,
I don't know. Anyway, so we'll use Uprising now. So Uprising is cool because it does this. Bang.
Look at all those ghouls. It should continue.
Yes.
So it instantly raises all of your stored souls into ghouls, so that a couple necromancers can come in and claim them all to be their own.
Yeah, they'll basically chill out there until the necromancer comes and claims them, which should happen at some point.
Do we plan to add more terrain features? We have a couple of terrain things that we haven't shown off yet.
Yes.
In terms of the large flat landscape, I'm not sure what you mean.
Can I paint terrain with the...
Do you really want to try to paint terrain in a map that's currently...
No.
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 Is there a shadow dungeon theme ? Exclamation point.
Cool. Dan is preparing a ritual sound demo for us to listen to.
It was the crackpot exploding.
Yeah, I don't know why the crackpot exploded
I
in my
liked
hand. It was...
Will you
Yeah.
summon a necromancer so that you guys don't look so sad?
yeah, my population is full, I think. Oh, something's gone wrong. Capital N.
Who are you calling a capital N?
Oh, for God's sake. Capital U. There we go.
Aha!
So, Necromancer. Come on.
Collect them. Collect your army of the undead.
There you go.
Aww,
So,
look at him.
they're all down.
It's a happy little family. Wait, how many are there? This
there
is
was
a story.
seven.
About a necromancer. And his 7 British friends.
God, we've done an hour and 50 minutes already, and we've only just finished showing off the in-game things.
Oh, you took too long. Okay,
That
map
was so
creation.
many things.
Yeah, we're done now. This is how we make maps.
Should we sort of demonstrate making a small little Mighty Quest thing?
Yes.
Okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to do it?
Nope.
You should do it.
Show off the tutorial.
It broke.
That's fine. It'll just show off the first few nodes.
Okay.
Or you can even do the survival level.
My dungeon! It's gone! What a shame. I will save Twitch Realm. Save scene.
At one point, this will be the stuff of legend.
We will turn this into a multiplayer map.
Will we?
Sure, why not?
It's ugly.
Well, it is right now. There needs to have things in it. It needs to have things
Don't
in
let
it.
Josh make maps.
Okay, sure, whatever. I want to show them Rascals even though it doesn't work because it looks cool.
Yeah, that's fine. And we could try to fix it on stream.
I don't think that's a good idea.
That's probably a really bad idea.
Yeah. People are sending me messages.
You don't care about them. That's actually a great idea. A dungeon theme where all the sound effects are just people saying what they're doing. Digging,
I'm
digging,
digging,
digging, digging. Claiming, 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 claiming.
I would turn the game off.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to play that game.
Hmm.
How many goals can one necromancer have? At some point, it will be limited by their level?
No, it might be. At
That's
the moment, it's infinite.
Yes.
But we may limit
At
it
some
further.
point, we may limit it.
So this is the new version of Rascos's Domain.
As you can see, it's much more exciting.
It is indeed. So you start with a little dungeon this time. Here is your dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
The level directs you over here. Basically, you start with very little
Don't
gold.
spoil it! I'm just kidding. You can spoil it. Yeah, don't spoil too much, though.
There's like no story in this level at all.
This is the best part, though. Okay, I'm ready.
So it directs you over here to dig out some of the gold. You dig out said gold. You then get the Perception Shrine. This time when you claim the Perception Shrine, the camera won't rotate around in a sickening fashion for multiple minutes.
That's how I did it when I did Mighty Fun.
It won't do that when we release the level. You will then be able to see here, this is Rascos's little outpost.
Does he have a couple?
No, not really.
That looks like one.
What, this?
Yeah.
That's his dungeon core.
Oh!
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah. So what this then does is it introduces the player to the Underminer. That's what this level is introducing. So Richard suggests that you place an Underminer over here in order to blow up his walls.
And we all remember how awesome the Underminer
We do.
was.
We'll show you again for those who missed it.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Just because it's really cool. So it blows that up. You then basically get all this gold, which lets you build things. And you get this one, which lets you see basically everything else, which can lead you onto basically multiple different things you can go and do. There's a gateway here. There's a gateway here. There's more gold. Another perception shrine.
Most importantly,
There is an Easter egg over here, which
Fortzilla has. Well, don't see now. You just ruined it.
well, it's a.
They're just all gonna go right there.
Everyone knows it. This was in the previous level. It was just a lot less cool.
This time it's much more exciting.
It is indeed. This is Raskos' sort of line of defense against the armies of Fortzilla. And then this is Raskos' dungeon. A lot less cooler than yours, because he's Raskos and you're you.
You've got style.
Indeed. And then this is his dungeon core, which you destroy mercilessly.
Dro, I've read it every time. I'm waiting for him to.
He's my friend as well, so I'm not listening to him.
He should not die in one hit anymore. There were many things.
Yes, so previously we realized that all dungeon cores had 200 health, and considering workers have, I think, 350 health,
Turns out they didn't have as much health as they were supposed to.
they now have 5,000 health.
Yeah. Ryan. Okay, apparently you know a lot of these people. On a Chromebook. Yes.
3 of them.
Shout out. What up, Ryan? What up? From America. American shout out.
But you're not.
I am.
You're
But American.
so am I.
Freedom.
Pretend American.
Freedom.
Okay.
Mighty Quest.
Mighty Quest.
Mighty
Yes.
Quest.
What happens when you press play on this level?
Don't. Well, it's already broken. See, like when I did it earlier, it broke all the connections to Mighty Quest.
Well, let's
you
go
can
look
show
at a
them.
level which does work.
Or you could just show them broken Mighty Quest.
No, that's not a very good idea. Let's just pill and make sure that there are no updates.
I just put it. I mean, right now it works fine.
Yeah.
Well, kind of works fine. These people, they've been through so much.
Yeah, the tutorial's been updated. So, hold on 1 second whilst we get an updated version of the tutorial.
Question: favorite cereal?
Cinnamon.
I like
cinnamon grahams.
Kashi. Pretty much all of them.
Why do kids love the taste of cinnamon?
It's great.
That's
Frosted
Frosties.
Crunch. It's more than breakfast.
We're going to stop talking about cereal now. We can continue talking about cereal whilst this downloads.
Importantly, what's your favorite kind of cereal?
Oh, of course.
Any new Empire units to reveal? No. Don't even
We
think
could
about
show
it.
them
Nope.
something.
Nope.
We're going to show them the dwarf worker because
Nope.
they already saw it.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't know what they saw, though.
Yeah. Let's stash Twitch Realm. Actually, screw it. Let's just delete everything. Sorry, we're deleting Twitch Realm. I apologize to anyone who was
I messed it
emotionally
up.
attached to do it.
Will there be a level where you take over a school for wizard children? God, that's a good idea.
That sounds like a really good way to get to.
Oh, that's a really good idea, though. Do you know what Daniel Radcliffe's up to these days?
I think he's running around.
Unrelated, but I think we need him for some VO. Unrelated.
Yeah, that would be like our entire budget.
Unrelated.
Yeah! I'm busy. We're busy.
We're not.
Alistair, can you...
Alistair's bed's already downstairs.
That's Claire. She's lovely.
Yes.
Josh.
Yes, thank you. We are broadcasting. Okay, we have a new level.
She's the second sweetest. I'm trying to think of who... No, she's the best. Are Lucky Charms as good as they sound? Yes, accurate.
Okay. I lost. There it is.
Mighty Quest?
No, not Mighty Quest. Could never be Mighty Quest. Okay.
Can confirm. Noontide. And... the other person. Was that her cake? His cake? I don't know if it's a her or he.
Who?
Kirsty.
What?
Never mind. That was Alistair's cake. I don't know
Kirsty has bought cake.
I don't like any cake.
You were in America.
Damn it! Every time!
Jesus Kirsty.
Foiled! Does she know you guys have fans? No. Wait. I can imagine that's said in a really American accent, and that makes me happy.
When my mum uses FaceTime on an iPhone, she holds it this close to her face and shouts,
So that
"Hello, can you hear me?"
So that she can hear.
Darkest greetings, Underlord.
Why did I click play?
Welcome to the
You need to pull over Mighty Quest so people can see.
I will help
No,
you
what I need to
with
do
your
is
powers as
add
Underlord.
screen reader.
But first, gaze upon your dungeon core.
Yeah.
For it is your tether to this
That's
realm.
not what I clicked on.
If destroyed,
That's the news.
you will be banished to the ether.
Hey guys,
Putting a soft
that's what the
edge
news
to
looks like
your
before it's
war for
posted.
the overworld.
Well,
You
Probably
will
want to
need
click on the
an army
Unity
before you
bit.
can crush this
I am
realm
clicking on the
under you.
Unity bit. It
First,
doesn't
however,
want to do it.
You'll need a
Yeah, why
place
don't you
for
just
them
pull
to
in Mighty
rest.
Quest? People don't need to see the level, they've already
Source
seen the
of
level.
meat to pack into
No,
their
I
rumbling
tell you what I do.
tunnels. Let us start by ordering your workers to expand your dungeon.
Let's
To do
manually
this,
drag.
James, do you like Jaffa cakes? I don't know what a Jaffa cake is. It sounds British and I probably don't like it.
I will get James a Jaffa cake before he goes back to
I
America.
really don't want a Jaffa cake.
He will.
The name alone sounds like something I don't want.
Mighty Quest. Alistair, can you shut the door, please?
Open it a little bit. So Mighty Quest is the magic. It's how we make levels. If Josh zooms out a little bit, he'll be able to show you what the tutorial looks like. So all of that is the tutorial. That makes everything in the tutorial happen. It's all node-based. We drag and drop and then put input values from those things. I'm not going to love a Jaffa cake. If it's anything like dessert, I already hate it. Is it like dessert?
What? Yeah, well, it's
Jaffa
chocolate. It's a sort of
Cake.
chocolatey orangey biscuit. Okay, so what we will now demonstrate is. Hang on.
How it works.
Well, yeah, how it works. So, here. So this basically. So this is the big long sequence of things. Here you can see the node. It's a wait node, and it's waiting for tiles to be selected, which are here. So when we select the tiles, it says, you know, very happy. It's now waiting for those to be dug and claimed, which is happening now. Oh, it's also saying something, which you can hear and we can't.
There are a couple lines of dialogue after that. I know because I think I wrote them.
Well done,
I don't
Underlord.
remember.
The lair
may
will
have paid
provide a
someone.
fitting place for your minions to rest. To build one, click
What
upon
am I
the
Googling?
icon and drag your hand.
Ryan, I'm not
across the
Googling
empty
anything you
What's
tell me to
happening
Google.
currently is up top.
Impressively
Do you want
built,
to
Underlord.
narrate?
Huh?
You should narrate.
But see that building this lair.
Well done!
Majority
You've
of your
now. What do you mean narrate? Explain what's
Fortunately
happening?
for you,
So if Josh zooms out and moves up a little bit, various other things on the bottom,
which can be used to find
and the
your
bottom is
holy
strictly for
temple.
dialogue and occasionally waits in between
Command
dialogue
your
bits,
workers to mine out the nearby
do
gully.
other things. So like after the previous layer was built, we had a node that would changed an impenetrable rock into dirt tile so that you could claim it or dig it out and then move to that room. That's the thing that's repeated throughout the tutorial to prevent people from doing things that they shouldn't. And this tool is basically what we want to eventually be able or available to everyone. It isn't currently. It would be impossible.
Yeah, at the moment it's not possible. We built this with users being able to use it in mind. It's once you get the hang of it. I mean, there is a lot to it. I mean, you can do simple things pretty easily. There are some more complex things, which we'll show you in a little bit. We're actually going to build. You may have seen Stumbly Survival Challenge, which is half built at the moment. We are going to be building some more of that on the stream in a moment, just to show you how some of the more complex things work. Keep provided a link to video.
Who's Total Biscuit?
Someone tell us if we should watch it or not.
Who's Total Space Biscuit?
Yeah, Total Space Biscuit is a bad person. Total Biscuit, no space, is a good thing. Dungeon Keeper Alpha.
Click it.
We're not going to look at that on the stream.
I'm gonna look at it. Alistair, bring it up. Show me that.
Something has gone wrong.
What's going on? Whoa! What is this? How's this?
Okay, keep it. Yeah.
Dungeon Keeper 1?
That is Dungeon Keeper 1. Yeah, no, actually, prior to Keeper Money, Dungeon Keeper 1 was a very different game.
Yeah, I noticed.
It's-
Oh man, it's like Doom.
They will prove useful.
One more.
Should any small
And
skirmishes break
they're-
out within
those are
your
points.
unholy hall.
These are little orbs.
James, we're live streaming.
Yeah, sorry.
The alpha looks fucking cool!
Darlings alone do not allow
What happened?
attracting a wider variety of minions to your
Clearly they took a little bit of Quake inspiration on that one.
filled with unique rooms.
Which I'm okay
These
with.
can be
I think
unlocked
the world will be
within
okay
the
with that.
veins of evil. Open them now to explore
What are you showing?
untapped potential.
I'm just going through the tutorial whilst
It's gonna break in the next node.
Yeah, it does break soon.
At least a 3x3
No, it breaks when Ophidian appears. Or
Do you got that far
to
over?
increase the
Yeah.
speed
Oh.
at which you earn.
Yeah, that's fine then.
Select the
Monitor
archive and
We might be able to actually
the
manually
flashing tile.
bypass it.
No.
Possibly. No?
No, one or two of the things send data to it. Otherwise you can't force it. That's why I had to play through the entire level to get to the last
I've
final
never
fight.
seen a room built with
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, okay. I mean, the Lord Ophidian play is very similar to current tutorials.
I mean, the whole level's similar, it's just a lot cleaner for players that have no idea what this game is. A lot of you
And will also be useful at
have either been following us since before
other
Kickstarter or
minions with his unholy repertoire.
understood what the game was at an early
You
time.
have earned a new sin
This is more for
from
the newer people.
Use it within the veins of evil
And
to
to make
unlock
res
the
more
foundry.
pleasant for those who
Click
pick it
the
up and have
flashing
no
icon
idea what they're
to
doing.
unlock the foundry.
Everyone.
The foundry
Pretty much
will
everyone.
be open
So again, you can see we're
deploy.
doing lots of things
You
on
will
the
need
back
at
end,
least a
and
3x3
it is
area for your minions to work the
well,
floor
fairly
with
complicated for such
and
simple
construct defense
tasks.
parts for your dungeon.
But that's because
Select the
man, I was a
foundry and
perfectionist.
build it upon
If
the
you
flashing tile.
had to make a new game after this one with no limits, what would it be? A truly next generation Command and Conquer game, but done properly, not Command and Conquer 4.
A chamber has entered your
With an
dungeon.
absolutely giant budget,
The
that could
chamber
be
is a
absolutely
punching
phenomenal.
bag who will
Think so?
deliver fatal fits of
Problem is,
flatulence
I don't
when
think,
provoked.
from a financial standpoint, it can support that. I just don't think the market's big enough for a sort of AAA budget. I mean, from a gameplay perspective, you could do all those things, it just wouldn't have all the tidings, you know, like the live-action cutscenes and stuff.
Use it within the
But if I have unlimited resources, then sure, probably
the
that.
wooden door.
I'd make Grim Fandango
Click the
2,
flashing icon to unlock the wooden door.
but
Select
I
the
wouldn't
wooden
because I don't
door
think I'd
and build it
do it
upon
well
the
enough.
flashing tile.
However, the answer is only that, because this game is already
Your
would have been
workers
made at
will
that
now
point.
deliver defense
See that?
parts from your foundry to the blueprint.
You must have realized just for
Once
cutscenes.
built,
If we do Command and Conquer, I will act in the
withstand
cutscene,
enemy assault
What?
for
but not as a bar.
time.
Because, see, he's already said he'd do the Bard, but he regularly complains about it, and now he's saying he'd act in the cutscenes, but you know, he just complained about that too.
Upon the ground beneath their feet.
You're fickle, you know that?
Minions will rush to vanquish the drunkards.
Yeah, don't do it on the gateway, because sometimes they get stuck, and then the dwarves kill all of your dudes. That happened to me twice. That was the one bug that I meant to mention.
That would be fine.
Sometimes they beat your dudes. If they all pile up.
We're already behind. Let's go.
Viciously executed, Underlord. The interloping dwarves
So,
are defeated
yes,
in a
this is
puddle of
fight
their
mode.
own vomit.
Yes, soon the tutorial will break.
Back thee away,
Here we go.
Underlord.
I think it's now.
You shall not
Quickly
defile
video.
my land with your vile taint.
So do you see the camera
My
doesn't quite
righteous
move
hand
to the
shall
correct
stay your
place?
evil ways and send you back to whence
Ah.
you came.
You
But it
will
moves
need to
back
create a
correctly.
path for your minions to attack this
It worked.
impudent lord.
Oh, that's because
In
you
order to go
pulled
on the
again.
offensive,
Yes.
This is the
command your
unedited
workers
version.
to
That's
dig
why some
out
of the,
flashing tiles.
what are those words? Subtitles aren't correct.
The minions of evil invade. To
To
arms!
arms.
Fight for the glory of the Empire!
Command your
What is that thing
troops
that looks like
with
a giant
work
tree?
to
That is
silence
Mighty
this
Quest.
raven
It's what we use to
lord.
make levels. Or at least to make levels that have things happening in them.
A pox on your
This
evil
tool
ways.
was made by Nano. He also made the tutorial with the tool, because he is amazing.
That is amazing.
Okay, so for those of you only just joining us, all the stuff we're showing off in this live stream, it's all going to be available in a test build, which someone is now going to link the instructions on how to access this test build in the chat now. We're going to be pushing this out. Oh, I won. We're going to be pushing this out probably tomorrow, but it's an opt-in thing, so you have to, using Steam, opt into the beta branch, using the instructions that will have hopefully been linked in the chat by now.
Because we don't have the updated UI and a few other things. It's not quite ready, but if
It's
you guys want
really
to
not
play
ready.
with it,
Like, all the features sort of 80 to 90% done, but they aren't quite there yet, nor is it all integrated into the UI, unfortunately.
right. So you'll still be able to play with all the new bits, but none of them are perfect, so we're delaying the patch by a little bit until we can make it all as perfect as possible.
I think it died. Nope.
Did you release a program that could... you could probably go find the cursor in the game files and pull it out and change your cursor to that. Because it just uses an image as far as I'm concerned.
It's a spreadsheet currently. We are going to look at the cursor being an actual 3D object. What? Okay. Oh, we have audio.
Oh, I think we only posted it to private.
Yeah. So it's been live and all.
Yeah, because that's what we linked
Alistair,
to
can
on
you
the
move it?
website too. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you don't care about the audio? I want to listen. Oh, it's just... I'm so sorry. Showing your emails off to...
Oopsie daisy. Okay, let's just... Okay, so what that was the initial cast. Then the sort of charging time. The charging time is usually not about 3 seconds as you saw in the gameplay earlier. That will be longer. So we'll have this sort of charging time where you can look at the sanctuary and you can hear the charging, and you'll see this sort of cool effect on the altar.
And then you get that big exciting release.
You get, and then the stuff happens. So this is going to be the same for Uprising, which is the one.
Charging. Oh wait, here comes the release. 3, 2, 1.
In answer to your question, that's not all for fortifying a wall. What the Fortify ritual does when it's working, which it wasn't earlier, is it will fortify every single tile neighboring your area. So you could dig out like 5 rooms, claim all the floor tiles, and then cast this ritual, and then all the walls will instantly be cast. And also any wall that you have already will be repaired to full health. So it's very good for when you're about to be attacked or are currently under
Defensive and aggressive. Crazy!
Indeed.
Mega cray.
These are our forums.
Those are private forums, don't you?
No, that was new posts.
Oh, I thought it was 3D art.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I think it was.
Yeah.
It is. You can see that. Okay.
That's an excellent question, Buzukai. How are those audio samples possible? One of our audio guys sent us the audio. Or he uploaded it and then linked us to it. He's magic.
Yes.
We have a thing.
We have a thing. So.
Wait. Slippy survival.
Yeah, okay. Slippy survival first. Go.
Pooja. Will the tavern have a song sung by Josh?
Yes.
Yes. Confirmed.
I hate all of you.
Do you know that guy?
I don't know who's that. This is Stumpy Survival Challenge.
Look at all that lava. Things are heating up.
There's no Mighty Quest. Where did the Mighty Quest go?
Wait a second, let me zoom out. Try clicking the map and then clicking Mighty Quest. That's not good.
Right. It's there. It's just not there.
Try scrolling.
I'm scrolling.
No, I mean like scrolling across because sometimes it hides in the corner.
Oh,
Yeah,
there it is. Okay. Nano has been working on this, so I don't know what happens yet.
Quick play.
Let's see what happens.
Josh singing Half-Life 3 confirmed. Both. Josh is Half-Life 3. What? I'll sell them to any one of you right now for $10,000.
Can we see mine? I don't have a loot, Ryan.
I don't think he's talking about a literal loot. That's just a guess. It's the internet.
Okay. So,
What time is it?
indeed. So this timer here is counting down to when the next wave spawns. These here are the prohibitors. So,
Well, they're a little bit.
let's hide the flags.
I wouldn't.
Why? And where's the timer?
No, you want the timer, don't you?
No, I want to make it longer. No, I don't need to be. It doesn't need to be longer. It's fine. Okay.
You guys had any breakthroughs on the vampire?
We know exactly what the vampire is doing and how it works, but we're
What
revealing it.
vampire?
Sorry, the supposed vampire. That's
This
right.
guy.
Everyone knows there's a
We've been
vampire.
really good at teasing it all night.
Everyone knows there's a vampire.
You go and fuck it all up.
Everyone knows.
Well, maybe one person didn't, and
But
now
we're
they
not.
know.
We're not talking about the vampire yet.
I didn't even know it was a real thing.
Okay. So, these are the pig inhibitors.
Oh, look at that.
It's-
It's preventing pigs.
It's holding a pig spirity thing. Your job in this level, there is VO, but it's not attached yet, is you have to defend these three pig inhibitors from the onslaught of enemies that will come down each of these three parts. Up here as well. And over here. If a pig inhibitor gets destroyed, one of Porkzilla's demonic lieutenants will spawn. Which is a giant demon pig that shoots fireballs and kills everybody.
That's true.
And he's very difficult to kill. So generally, if one of those gets destroyed, you're in deep trouble. You then have to kill said pig. And if you don't, then, well, these are dwarves. Anyway,
They're attacking.
they are attacking. They're attacking the worker, which is not able to take damage because it's broken. So let's pick it up. Why is he running away?
He's scared. Oh, the other one just stopped.
God damn it. Oh, this was fixed earlier. Whatever, we'll sort that out in a second.
It
Anyway,
doesn't matter.
when one of these gets destroyed, the giant pig spawns. When they all get destroyed, lots and lots and lots of giant pigs spawn, and then you probably are going to lose.
Don't spoil it.
It's fine. You see the score up here. You get points every time you kill an enemy. Oh, there you go. So it's working now, although they aren't dealing any damage to it. Whenever you kill enemies, you get points, you see? And you also get gold. So you see I have 17,000 gold, and now I have still 17,000 gold.
Pretend he has 18,000.
Yes. I started with 16,000, so at some point I did gain 1,000 gold.
I remember.
I don't think there is a second wave yet either.
That's fine.
We will have to wait and see
Oh.
in 2 seconds. What we are going to be doing... there is no second wave. Okay. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to add the second wave. What do we want in the second wave?
Behemoth.
A behemoth.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll add a behemoth. So what I did there is I copied and pasted the first wave. So this is the green things are events. So down here, somewhere, I think it's over here. Spawn the cool next wave. Yes, okay. So this is what controls when the next wave spawns. So this happens between every wave. And then when it says, I want wave 2, it says, I'm calling the event.
That's wave 2.
I'm calling the event wave unit 2. So here it's listening to wave unit 2. So when that happens, it triggers this event, which is a sequence.
Make this big. Get rid of the other thing.
I will do
Get rid of
that.
the rest.
There we go.
Oh, that's much nicer.
It will start this sequence. So what it does first is it adds 1 to the wave number, so you know it's the next wave. And then it will go to this unit factory. And a unit factory is basically a multi-unit spawner.
It poops units out.
It basically does that, yes. If we're being crude. So I'm going to use this lock tool on Unity to do that. And then what I can do is I can find our units folder. There's probably no,
Look how many units we have.
probably no spoilers in there, I don't know.
There's at least one.
Oh, we didn't show the Eternal. We'll show the Eternal.
That's one.
We're not going to put it in because it will be horrible. So we can change this to 9, so we have 9 units in the wave. And we will... I don't know, what units do people want to see?
Behemoth times 9.
We're not spawning 9 behemoths.
A Juggernaut.
Definitely
We'll
a
spawn-
Juggernaut. He's huge.
We'll spawn some... We will spawn a Juggernaut.
Dark Mech. Not the first... Well, maybe. But definitely after you beat in the campaign once. We have plans for ways
Yeah,
to make it
it's
more
not
difficult.
it's not going to be a difficulty level as such, but there will be a more...
There will be ways to make it more difficult.
There'll be a... Yeah. Make it more challenging, you could say.
Yes. Make it more challenging, one could say.
Okay, so...
Penetrable rock.
Let's just add a bunch of random units, and shall we?
Behemoth.
We'll put a behemoth on wave 3.
Is there a potion? No, they will naturally sparkle. Someone convinced us to do that earlier. Behemoth and 8. Wait, 9 Eternals is a really good idea also.
No, it will take forever.
Well, you're not going to be able to kill the wave anyway. Or using the lightning that much.
Probably, I'll have to.
Dark Mech. Isn't that how you say it?
Dark Mech, I don't know, actually.
It's Dark Mech. Mech makes me think of Mech from Dota 2. Do you play Dota 2, Mech? It's an important question.
In answer to the vampire question, we aren't talking about the vampire other than there is a vampire.
Damn it. Spoilers. I agree. A Templar.
There is already a Templar.
2 Templar.
And now a... Which...
The ragtag group.
And we'll add a crackpot too, because who doesn't like a crackpot?
What a priestess.
So the anchor here, what the anchor does is decides where it actually spawns. So we're going to do the first 3 at spawn point 1. We're going to change the group to 1. So what we're using the group for here is, as you may have seen the first time we ran the level, there were 3 flags, 1 on each of the pick-ippers. So group 1 is the left-hand lane, group 2 is the top lane, the north lane, and group 3 is the one on the right. And those correspond with the spawn points and the groups and the lanes and everything. I'm repeating myself now. So we changed the last 3 to 3.
It must be 5 in the morning. I think we've been streaming for like 10 hours.
It is 10:21. Okay, we go back to Mighty Quest now. Just for neatness, we are going to rename this to 2. Theoretically, this should work now. So we are going to save.
Assuming it's playing correctly.
Save scene. It should be. It's meant to do it dynamically. It did last time, actually. Okay, so we're going to click play. Oh, it's saving, so we're not going to click play. Now it's done. We're going to click play.
Wait, so there. Oh, really?
Hmm?
Oh, really? Oh, so sleepy.
I thought this was a Call of Duty Twitch channel. Dear God, I'm offended. Okay,
I'm not. Let's play Call of Duty.
no. So this is sort of the basics of the level.
Shucks.
This is the introduction sequence. It spawns the flags. It will have the VO here. We have added the VO in, and then there's the starting countdown. Then it will spawn the first wave, which just happened, which is over here. For some reason, these dwarf workers are not wanting to attack though, so we are going to need to mercilessly kill them.
Rude. How much gold do you have? Oh, you got gold. Oh, looks like you're not having gold specifically to certain units.
Okay.
That's clever.
So it's counting down to the next wave now.
Joe Fudge, 91. Everyone else has already answered you, but I will 20 seconds later.
Here you go. Possession.
I'll protect
We can go and see some of the enemy spawn.
Nice. I hope I don't kill you.
Ah.
Ah! Run, run, run.
So we have a Gnolling, and we have an Ember over here. How am I not dead yet? Oh yes, because workers can't take damage. Oh, he took damage. Okay.
When in possession, apparently.
Okay. So yes, you can see the enemies are... Well, our workers are valiantly attempting to defend unsuccessfully.
The Juggernaut is huge!
Yes. So this pig inhibitor is unfortunately being destroyed.
Oh no.
Bang! Oh no, it was destroyed. What on earth does that mean?
Well, nothing right
Okay, it didn't work. We'll have to go and fix that. We'll show you how to fix that.
Normally it would be bad news. Oh wait, maybe if all three times. Maybe Pixel or Pixel. What do we call them?
This one isn't taking
That
damage.
one seems to be invincible.
That one is dead. Okay, so the one on the left has problems. The pigs aren't spawning. This is very unfortunate.
Look at my new quest. Sure, let's see what...
Okay. And the flying here hasn't moved. Okay. Over here we have the nodes for when these things should be destroyed. Mighty Quest has this really useful feature which lets you manually execute things, so we can do that.
I don't think I'm gonna listen. The notes, I think that's why they didn't happen.
No, when the level starts they lose that. It does work. It did work. Anyway. Here is a giant demon pig. These are very powerful and will kill all of your units. Unless you are playing very well.
You may have seen them before.
So basically when this dies, he will spawn in each wave. And he will slowly roam down the wave and destroy you. Let's spawn all of them actually. Let's just...
Oh, and the all? Don't do all. Leave something to the imagination.
So we should have one here. Okay. This is our impending doom.
Oh no! Well, you had some of those freezing potions right now.
Oh my god, this guy.
That guy's huge.
Why does he have so much health? He doesn't have very much health. I think those need to be balanced.
I think those need to be swapped.
Who wants to see the death animation up close? Are we ready? Are we ready?
Yes. Kill him.
That was an anticlimax. There we go.
His head turns.
His head turns pink. And he stops. Okay. Obviously, all of this needs some work.
Stop the fucking audio.
Seriously? Is the audio playing?
You never muted it entirely.
I can hear.
Oh.
I can hear the game.
Yeah.
I would hear the audio if it was playing. You can see here him shooting fireballs. Unfortunately, this is invincible.
As it should be.
But we'll spawn another one over here. No, we won't. I don't know. Actually, we can just execute the node. James is tired because he is jet lagged. Here we go. And we'll put...
You're uninterested. You might be fleeing.
Not cooperating. There we go.
Poor workers.
Anyway, yes, these are very, very destructive. And that is the basics of the survival level. Obviously, as you can see, it needs some fixing and the waves to be added properly. But it's going to be some fun to play with. We're hoping this is actually going to be relatively challenging, unlike the other levels, so you guys who are wanting something challenging and single player that isn't a sandbox
And
will...
a bit replayable.
Yes. We'll have some, some fun here, because there's going to be a score, so obviously you can
And also it's something that is fairly easy for us to add, you know, like, let's say 5 more waves to in the future, if everyone seems to beat it.
And then we have a thing. So we are taking this to rest, and there we go, the light.
Alex knows. Abandoned nuclear power plant or underground Cold War bunker.
No.
Yes. We're actually looking at abandoned missile silos.
Anyway, yes, we're taking this to rest, and we wanted to get some cool little prize for people, for basically whoever had the best score at rest. So
On this level.
on this level, yes. So we decided to go to a 3D printer and get
Josh.
full screen. This is a good idea.
Let's see.
So they can see me in all of my glory.
Indeed.
Need a lamp above your head.
Yeah, so, anyway, so we have made. Oh, there we go.
Left.
There we go.
Okay, that's the... Okay, wait.
Yes, we've made some little cultist statues, which are a bit blurry. My arm's getting tired.
They're the most limited edition thing we'll ever make for this game.
Only 3 of them exist.
So if you're going to rest, you can win one, if you play really well.
Only 3 of them exist at the moment, anyway. So this is the company that we are hoping to get our imp statues for our Kickstarter backers made. We just wanted to sort of do a trial run, and we thought we could do something cool for Res at the same time. In addition, we're hoping to have a partnership with them in the future, which will essentially allow fans of our game to order a statue of anything they want. It's obviously, as you know, 3D printing is a relatively new business, so we don't quite know how it's all going to be working, but if all goes well, you will hopefully literally be able to say, I want a statue of a imp riding on the shoulders of a
Portzilla.
cultist, or
Yeah.
Portzilla, who's, I don't know, eating a bard.
Yeah.
And then they can make you a 3D
That'd be a thing.
They
You
can
could just
print
do
you a
that.
statue of it.
Resd is... Well, when is Resd? Is tomorrow?
No, Friday.
When are we leaving?
Tomorrow.
Thursday? Is today Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday. We just posted the news, James.
Oh, we didn't talk about Resd in those.
Oh, we should have done that.
Yeah, probably.
Whatever.
Hindsight being what it is.
It's a bit late now if people aren't going.
It's Friday. Tickets might still be available.
They are still available.
You can Google Resd. It's in England.
I will open my Steam and I will patch the multiplayer branch.
Do English people call it England?
England, yes.
Okay, it's in England.
It's in England,
On the east.
or Britain, or the homeland, the correct country. The heart of the empire. Do they wear red shoes? No, these are actually sort of the sort of gold-ish.
Yeah, it's metallic gold. It's hard to show on the camera. Because lights.
Indeed.
Are you logging on the Steam?
Yes, I need.
Can we play Dota?
No, we can't play Dota.
We could play Dota. I think I can get a plane ticket and a hotel room. You probably could, but I'm pretty sure it costs you way more than you want to spend. You could probably buy a 3D printer. Well, you wouldn't have the model.
Put it this way. In the future, if you want one of these, it will probably be possible for you to get on your own accord. It will probably cost quite a bit, because as I'm saying, they're going to be literal single runs. You'll just be able to order whatever you want from this company that we're hopefully going to be working with. We're also hoping to offer a discount to our Kickstarter backers.
Yeah, that guy.
Steam trading cards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I was answering a question.
Oh. I didn't care because I saw cards.
Okay.
I like badges.
I lost my train of thought now.
Yes, eventually, if you want any, like, literally any character from our game, it will be
Yes.
possible.
And I was saying, if you're a Kickstarter backer, you will hopefully also get a discount on this process.
No promises.
No promises, but
You shouldn't even say that.
try. Why not? We can say that.
Yeah, but see, we could not tell them, and then they could give us money. We could get more money.
Good.
See, that's forward thinking.
We can buy a yacht.
We could buy a yacht, or an abandoned missile silo, which
We
I
could
think
just
is much more
3D
pertinent.
print a yacht.
Whoa, do you think it would?
Probably not. Anyway, yes, there are going to be Steam trading cards. There are going to be badges. There are going to be little emoticons and profile backgrounds and all those associated bits. Just
All the cool shit.
not yet.
Are you fiber? God, that must be nice.
Hmm?
You fiber. I could tell because you're down
Oh, already done.
faster than I already have.
Okay, I'm going to close Unity now.
No spoilers. Are you going to play against another person?
Indeed. If you want to play multiplayer, you
I'll
should load up the
shoutcast.
game now. You get a shoutcast.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you have some music to play?
What?
First?
Hmm?
I thought Dan or Dante was sending you some music.
Have they?
No.
Nope.
I sent the ritual audio, which we already did.
Oh, I thought there was some more.
Right. If any one of you... Wait, you don't need Unity open.
No, this is just the screen. I'm closing Unity.
Oh.
Right.
So if any of you want to challenge Joshua Bishop to a multiplayer game of War for the Overworld,
You should open the multiplayer menu now. What map? The password is James, all lowercase.
you don't need a password.
Yeah, we do. What map? Let's go on Chasm City because it's really cool looking.
James, Shadow Theme. No dramatic pauses. Well, Vulukai,
I'll get orange.
when we talk about the Shadow Theme, there are a lot of answers that we can give you.
Someone says they're in, but they're not.
The thing is about the Shadow Theme. It may or may not be a thing.
We already set the password. It's James. You can
It's
see
not.
it on the screen. It's James in lowercase.
You can, it's right. Well, you can't see where I'm pointing, but it's right there.
Is it in lowercase?
Yeah, here's the password.
Alistair, you trying to? You can't play.
Okay, someone joined.
Who is it?
The Schlong Shark.
The Schlong Shark. I approve.
Okay, Mr. Schlong Shark. Yes, can you please select one and the color, and then we can start the level. That should really be done automatically.
I really hope you choose yellow.
Don't choose yellow.
I really hope you choose yellow.
No, don't choose yellow or red because it looks too close to orange.
Why'd you pick orange? Why'd you pick violet?
Orange is cool. Why does the guy keep quitting? The guy's quitting, by the way. Someone else could join.
Snipe him. Snipe him.
He's
Snipe
left.
him.
He's left. Someone else can join. Nope, he's back.
Vulukai, I don't remember if I ended that. Me playing with you.
I'm gonna be honest, the lobby is probably broken by now because this guy has left and joined 3 times.
Yeah, leaving and joining will break shit. Mr. something Schlong Shark.
He's selected. And you select one as well? Please. Mr. Schlong. Nah.
Choosing yellow. Yes! He knows! I approve.
Yeah, can you select the one as well? Alex? Please.
Alex
I
Slayer.
have to get violet now. Because he's yellow. I actually can't click go until you select one. This is how temperamental our multiplayer system is right now.
Do it.
He did. Okay, let's go.
Oh yeah, he can hear us. I shouted at him to choose.
Are you actually
No.
still undefeated?
I beat him the first time I played against him.
No.
Yeah, I did.
I did.
Someone has beat me once under fair rules. Under broken rules.
Under fair
Oh.
rules.
Well, I apologise, but for quite a while, the second player was unable to use mana. So I lost as the second player.
I have all these problems. Oh, I lost because of reasons.
So
And team, what color are you?
I'm purple.
And team purple off to a very aggressive start. It's going for ooh. Are you sure you want to do that? Oh,
Unlocked.
a strange middle. Gee, how many sims do you start with?
Well,
I played multiplayer forever. Oh, I hate this map. It confuses me. I get lost occasionally. Better dig it out before it heats up.
little do people know that claiming when you're possessed is really fast.
You're such a cheater. I wonder why this guy has only lost once under, again, air quotes, fair rules. Huh. I bet you're real proud of yourself never losing.
Yes. I haven't done this before. I only found this out yesterday, actually.
Sure you did.
Yeah, of course.
Sure. When you were playing multiplayer yesterday with that other guy.
I haven't played multiplayer for ages.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's cool. I have my
Schlong, look out, he's cheating.
I am not cheating. I'm being creative.
Alright, he's going for a very quick beast then. Small though. It's ballsy. And a huge slaughter pen. Hmm.
A Skarg has entered your dungeon. A Bafu has entered your dungeon. A Skarg has entered your dungeon.
Schlong, if you're watching, the ice is in the middle of the map. It's also called permafrost.
A Gnarling has entered your dungeon.
This seems a lot slower. I don't know why.
That's because units aren't running anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's
That's a
so-
new thing.
Everyone
Units
is so
don't
relaxed.
sprint anymore. Or all the time.
So relaxed.
I think they still sprint to battle and while in battle. Is that accurate?
Yes. They also walk a bit faster when they actually have a job to do.
Mm-hmm. Or if they're, like, have needs that they're trying to fulfill.
Yeah.
What the hell happened to that slot?
Yeah, this is a multiplayer bug.
Okay. As long as it's a bug. Thanks, Lask. Yeah. Yeah.
A cultist has entered your dungeon.
I can't say your name, and it's stupid. But I like you.
You're so rude, James.
Well, it's just the name that's stupid. They're not
Bafu
stupid.
has entered your dungeon.
I mean, they might be. I can't really speak to that. If you're stupid, I apologize.
A Skarg.
Yeah, but
I really like your name.
you'd be telling the truth.
I promise. The Bafu and the spider thing. What is the bat? Does the Bafu remind me of the Meatless? It doesn't look anything like it.
It really does.
It really doesn't. Wait, do we have bats going around now?
Oh yeah, they come out the chasm.
Nice! No one tells me anything. It's exciting. Go claim that.
Yeah.
Just use the F4 cheat.
It doesn't actually work in multiplayer.
I don't want to wait.
Not that I would cheat in multiplayer.
Yeah, not that you would cheat.
Your dungeon.
Not that you'd possess a worker in order to claim things at 6 times the speed. In a very specific way. So that you could build rooms faster. Oh no, not you. Josh Bishop. Show me the bats. Look at the bats. You are an aggressive player. Look out, he's coming for you.
A Skarg
Look
has entered your
out.
dungeon.
Yes, they both look kind of like bats. And that they fly. I get the impression you played the multiplayer more than this person.
I made this map.
That's why you beat me on it.
Yes. Oh, just for the record, this is quite an old build, so all the new stuff that you would have seen is not here. Multiplayer is broken between now and then, but we will fix it.
In StarCraft, it might be called the Stalker. We call it the Skarg in our game. I could see that. Or the Dragoon, which the Stalker was made to kind of replace. But it reminds me more of the Zergling, just because it's cute.
He's there now. I don't want to go there.
Go there.
No,
Get him.
because he's there.
Get him. You have more dudes, probably. Get him. Charge him. Crush.
Barracks unlocked.
Wait, you already claimed out the other side, didn't you?
Unlocked.
Didn't you already claim out the left side?
So,
I mean, there's a whole 3 dungeon.
A Chunder has entered your
all through his settlement, yeah, there's his dungeon, isn't there?
Hmm.
Small crypt, because it's so expensive.
dungeon.
Yeah.
Necromancer has entered your
Gold. I
dungeon.
don't think this skill has the gold dropping.
It does.
Oh, it does. Cool. Yes.
A
Succubus.
has entered your dungeon.
Woo! He is coming right for him. The rude player. We inspired... In terms of our unit design, not at all. The shrines were inspired by StarCraft, like very specifically. We think shrines are really cool. Although we can do more with them than like StarCraft could, because
A chunder has entered your dungeon.
it's a little bit less competitive. Everything doesn't need to be balanced 1000%, or constantly, or in a way that doesn't potentially break the game.
So this here, this is a special type of terrain that we have called Sacred Earth. It's easy to dig out, but you can't actually claim the ground it leaves behind. So we can place that in sort of pretty strategic places. So for example, I could dig out... Oh, hello.
I told you
Enemy.
Landon was
Has entered your dungeon.
silly.
Lightning unlocked.
Yes, so you can dig these out, but you can't actually claim it. So you can place this in places where, as a map designer, you don't want there to be much aggression early on, but you can sort of allow some exploration. For example, you could have a very short path between one dungeon and the next, but it's covered in Sacred Earth, so that it will allow sort of some early attacking, but you wouldn't be able to completely destroy a player using one of these paths, because you couldn't actually claim through and use your stronger stuff.
Right, which means your workers won't path along it, which means it's harder for you to collect your dead units if you want to be aggressive.
A chunder.
I believe you've won. Hey yo! Can we poke the site shrine in the eye? That's actually a fun idea. I approve. You're a rude player. Look what you did.
Well, I can't let him win. That would be outrageous.
Would it be?
Yes. We'll do one more.
You'll do one more.
By the way, as you can see, all this camp juggling is why we need a new UI. In the new UI, the flags are going to be up here on the right hand side, so you can just literally drop them in whenever you need them. Also, you're about to see what happens when a dungeon crawler has 200 health, as opposed to 5,000 health.
Oh, that's not updated in this build.
No, this is an alpha.
Oh, right, it's the multiplayer build, so that's been updated in ages.
Yes.
Get that chunder.
There we go.
Insta-give!
I won!
Okay.
What a surprise!
Mason's a game designer himself. Cheers to you. I'm running over cables left and right.
You should not do that.
Battles look really confusing right now. How do you attempt to change that?
Quite a few things. The unit shields aren't working properly. Unit AI needs some improvement, specifically when it comes to what abilities units
Playing
decide to use on
engaging
other
abilities.
units.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things about combat that are incomplete right now.
Specifically, a lot of the visuals aren't being triggered correctly either.
The chunder triggers. I like him.
Yeah, that's basically.
He's very clear.
Basically
Yeah.
it.
GG. All of that. I'm sure there will be a few others.
In fact, the combat in the most recent real build is a lot better than that. Again, this build is sort of
Yeah, it is
about
really strangely
6 weeks,
old. Yeah.
6 weeks out of date, probably.
Yeah.
Um,
It will only get better, and if for some reason it isn't clear, like as we continue forward, steps will be taken to make it easier to understand and follow.
right. Is there anything else that we said we'd show and we haven't?
You singing?
We didn't say we'd do that.
We did.
I didn't
I
say we'd do that.
I think we said it though.
Yeah, but I didn't. You don't matter.
Battle
Oh.
has entered your dungeon.
Wow. Ow. Hold me.
Is there anything else that someone wants to see?
I've had recently, but found
Yes.
Waxadelica. That's
There's
a great name.
There's going to be no bard, no singing, nothing. You're going to see nothing of the sort.
A battle.
Everyone says that you would sing.
If someone beats me at multiplayer, I'll sing. I'll play one more person.
Me.
No, you don't. You're not allowed.
Let me play. Please?
No.
Does your
No, that's
computer
not fair.
work?
Because no one will win.
It's true. Take it off. I like that one. maze, and you'll see. Like, when units have all their abilities put together.
Oh, the Eternal. Yes. Okay.
I guess a good example is when you watch a StarCraft battle, even if it's a little bit chaotic, it's still understandable.
Yes. Just a note on the Eternal. It has no animations, no abilities, no audio, and no visual effects. But it still looks cool.
It does stand, though. It stands real good. Dale. It's a Dale. Daylight come and we won't.
You can't cheat in multiplayer.
Day. He said day, he said day, he said day, he said day, he
James.
said day. Daylight come and we won't
James
go
sing instead.
home.
Yoris, you're fired. Dante linked me something saying it's on your soundtrack.
Yes.
No, it isn't.
Yes.
Thank you, Dante.
I approve. What are you doing about Possession Z?
Didn't show the arena.
What are you doing about Possession Z? We need something left to show. We can't spoil it all.
Okay. Possession. What's Possession Z?
Maybe he means the camera bomb?
Josh not singing. What's the point of these streams?
I agree.
I apologize.
Mitsuruku.
We've lost like 30 viewers since I said I wouldn't sing.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back.
Coincidence? Well, we should sing Journey.
Hollow. Where's Hollow? Here we go. Hollow.
1,000 Hollow.
It's the empty map. Hollow. Ha.
We shall drug him. Or something.
Well, I'm not going to sing whilst drugged, am I?
But you weren't, no.
Yeah, you
You drugged.
Yeah, but I won't be able to sing.
What's the biggest construction site? I don't... What do you mean construction site? Like the thing that we want to work on most? The thing that we're
Campaign.
working on most?
The campaign.
Campaign.
Yeah.
Campaign. Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to spawn the Eternal in here. Cause
You're making a Game of Thrones cake? Wait, no, spawn it in an empty room so that it doesn't... Oh, wait, it won't move around. JK.
There we go.
Look at him. He's backwards. Oh, he does move.
Yeah, he moved it. It doesn't matter.
Ah. I like him better when he doesn't animate.
There you go. This is the Eternal. With no animations and no visual effects and no sound and he's now...
Must pace. He's got some generic lines. Pacing good. Well, those are the lines that I wrote for him.
Okay.
Yeah, must pace and pacing good.
Okay.
That's it. That's all he ever says.
Good. Nice.
Hi, Scott.
I didn't realise when I first read that comment that it was Scott. I was like, oh, I should send that to Scott. He'll like that.
I knew it's too positive to be someone that actually backed our game. How many mini games?
No, that's not
I'm just
true.
kidding. No, yeah, totally kidding.
That's mean. No. Yes, you are allowed to stream WFTO. You can do whatever you want. All we ask is that you tell people that it's not released yet, that it's beta still. And aside from that, we don't really care.
Please don't tell people it's released. It's not released. Brawling, no.
But there are a ton of different units that you can build. I mean, not build. Access. Depending on how you spend your sins and make it evil.
Agree with you here, Fred.
Where's he gone? How did I miss him? He's massive.
There
he is.
What? 16 tiles he could be standing on?
That's big. Where are we? There's another ceiling. That's the last time we're going to show the ceiling.
The Underminer. So we show that again.
Oh, we said we'd show the Underminer again. Okay. We will do that. That's port. That's the console. Build. Okay.
Oh, make it go boom.
Yeah, I'm gonna possess.
Uh-oh.
Pick up non-stone.
Uh-oh. What's happening?
There we go. So this is the Underminer.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be... Oh.
And it made a good count. This is unfortunately what happens when claimed ceiling meets Earth ceiling. right now. It
Okay.
still needs some work, as you can see.
I want the Underminer again from the top.
You want to see it from below.
It's so satisfying.
That's a gateway.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Why isn't it? A fuse isn't it?
That's a good point. I hope the effect played. Okay, that's really disappointing.
That's
'cause
less
it
satisfying.
didn't play it properly.
Hmm.
Let's try again. Let's just build a bunch.
Okay. At first you don't succeed.
Try again.
Try again.
There we go.
Hi, boss hand.
These are all working.
Ooh. Oh, this is too much. Oh, this is not gonna end well.
Very explosive.
Excellent for strip mining.
So American.
Is that not? Because strip mining is a thing anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I know that Americans are horrible industrial people.
Yes, we are. Well, there would be duds. That'd be so awful if you were the player that had a dud, though, in multiplayer.
Who decided to change Veins of Evil? Why? Okay. This... Okay, I'm going to answer this. It'll take a minute or two. Then we will do a few more minutes of Q&A, and that's probably going to be the end, because it's getting quite late, and we need to get up early and go to rest tomorrow.
Oh, no, we're not ready.
We are. Okay.
Okay.
Veins of Evil. Let us open. I will use spreadsheet to demonstrate. I love spreadsheets. Spreadsheets are the best. You're going to see loads of spoilers now. You should thank whoever asked this question. Okay. This is the old Veins of Evil. Well, the current Veins of Evil, I guess. It's missing things. But basically, this is how it was going to be laid out. The main issue with this is that it is greed. Greed is basically problematic. The problem with greed is that the very start was good. Sort of this area here was really nice because you can invest points in greed early and you would get this massive economical advantage. But the problem is, after that, it was just a bunch of disconnected things and none of it really went together. And we ended up just dumping all the generic stuff in there. And it was very nice. We always liked Wrath. Wrath was nice because it just worked. All the stuff went together, apart from the barracks, but we've moved the barracks now. And the same with Sloth. All the stuff went together, and it just worked nicely. But Greed was crappy, and the way you access some of the more generic things was also crappy. So... I will now find number 2. Here we go. This is the new layout without anything in it. Okay, so what we've done now is we've made Wrath and Sloth thinner, and the Greed is gone. It's now called the Center. It's probably going to have a better name than that. We can think of one. And Wrath and Sloth work as they did before. You put 1 point in, and then you access the next tier, another point next tier, etc., etc., etc. This bar down here tracks your progress through Sloth, and the same here for Wrath. And then the center works differently. So the problem we had before with the middle is that there was no sort of connection between one thing and the next. Whereas with Sloth and Wrath, you have that. There's a lot of progression involved. That just didn't happen in the middle. It was just a lot of disconnected things that were good, but they didn't really work together. So what happens now is every time you spend a sin anywhere, this purple bar fills up. So as we can see here, there's 9 things that have been purchased. So you have 9 things in here. For every 2 sins you spend, it will unlock another tier of the middle. And then that basically means that when I get my next sin, I can spend it on anything in here. I don't need to buy this in order to get this, or this in order to get this, or whatever. There's no sort of vertical progression, you can just jump in and out and get whatever you want, which is a lot nicer because all the stuff in there is basically it's not sort of themed towards a specific strategy. It's sort of stuff that you can just use whenever. As an example, this is what we were going to be having in patch 0.4 when it released, or well, when we do release patch 0.4, it will look a bit like this. So obviously all the offensive stuff is here. You know, Beast Den, Prophecy, Cauterize, Underminer, very aggressive stuff. Defensive stuff here: Foundry, Ballista, Wooden Door, Boomshire, Rampart, Chill, Garrison. Very defensive stuff. And then all the big stuff is sort of in the middle: Slawbender, Layer, Wooden Bridge, Summoner Worker. I mean, you can read. I don't need to read those things out. And then this is what it might look like sort of towards the end. This is an earlier version where we had this thing called core upgrades, which is what we were going to use to increase your mana pool. We've scrapped that idea now. Mana is going to be gained in a different way. But this is sort of an idea of what it could look like when it was finished. And this is actually all the things. So that's nice. Anyway, those are the reasons we changed the Veins of Evil, and what we changed it to, and why we did those things. If anyone has any questions about that, ask now. Otherwise, any other questions, I guess, we'll stay on for another 10 minutes, till 10 past, and that'll probably be it, because we have some things to do before we leave tomorrow for rest. So, okay. That's nice.
You do have an American flag on your door.
I do. James, we have like 8 minutes.
8 minutes?
8 minutes.
Let's sing a song. A duet, if you will.
Should I buy your game on Steam or somewhere else?
You should buy it.
On our website.
Yeah.
I have caps lock on.
Does your room sound like butts?
Yes.
Yes. How's the story coming along? Yes.
You should buy it here because we get more money and you get it the same. You get the Steam key, so it's the same.
Brawling Celt. We have 17 hours of VO from Richard.
We will have 17 hours. We've only done
Total.
4.5 hours of recording so far.
Yes.
All the spots in Wrath and Sloth will be filled. There may be gaps in the center. We haven't decided yet.
Center or synergy.
Oh god.
Night Nutter. I thought of giving combat units collision.
Yes, so actually this is something that we've improved in the internal build right now. Units do actually collide from each other. Enemy units always collide with, well, I guess units from Faction A will always collide with units from Faction B. And then in combat, units of the same faction will also collide, but to a lesser degree.
So they'll be able to like kind of nudge past one another, but they won't ever occupy the exact same space, which is I think what they can currently do.
Yes. Where is the new patch?
I said when.
When is the new patch?
Yes.
Can somebody link the thing? We are releasing a preview of the new patch soon. Probably tomorrow. Nothing goes terribly wrong.
Fingers crossed.
But that's an opt-in thing. There's instructions on our forums, which someone is linking in the chat by the time you hear this.
I get new points.
And the final release of the patch is probably going to be middle of next month, I would hope. Essentially, we need to get the UI finished, which is probably going to happen in the first week of April, and then it's just a lot of polish. I mean, as you've seen, there's a lot of minor issues in this build which need sorting out. Yeah.
A lot of small things that break it.
And for those that weren't here earlier, we have replaced the top gems with things that aren't bright and blinding, so you can all stop complaining about that now.
Hopefully. That's not final, but this is generally
Yeah, we need
this
to.
is the first step in making them less painful to the eye.
We want more color in, I think.
It is like a giant. Oh, we need to put a Roomba in.
Yeah, no, you can already opt in, but the patch, the build that's currently the same as the live build. Where tomorrow you'll just automatically, or whenever we release it, you'll automatically get the update.
If/when we get Mighty Quest, will it be before final release?
Mason, if you have questions, go ahead. We're still here for another 7.5 minutes.
You can ask so many questions in 7.5 minutes, as fast as you can type.
Yes, you still get a Steam code if you buy it on our website.
Oh, that's a good question about the Enderminer with gold.
If you blow up a gold tile, it, at the moment, just destroys the gold, but it will drop the gold on the floor when we fix that.
Eventually, it will drop the gold in the floor.
Mighty Quest probably won't be released before the final release.
There's a lot of old stuff that doesn't work with it in the way that we want it to be available for everyone. So it will take some work and some doing.
Yes, but we realize how useful it will be for the community to have access to that. The amount of crazy things that can be. I mean, just look
So
at
much content.
Look at Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
I mean, the MOBA genre and the tower
StarCraft.
defense genre exist because of the Warcraft 3 editor. So.
Good amount, Roshni. Our killer. Bye, Pina. Colon.
Pina colada. It's like a pina colada, but it's a colon.
If you like pina coladas. I'm getting... Nope, okay.
We're letting you down.
If Lee was here.
Can the centers of large rooms like the one shown be darker, less lighting from the floors, bounce to more wall touches? Possibly. Okay, we're still working on the shaders. I mean, if you look here, you can see the walls actually react to light a lot better than the floors do at the moment. The walls are working properly with the new shaders, the floors aren't. So in the future, you should see a change. I'm not sure. There is a lot of tweaking for us to do when it comes to shaders and lighting. We need to do a lot of performance improvements to lighting. So
most of it's low priority right now.
Yeah, just wait and see. Are there beholders in the game? Yeah, but I don't know yet.
Are there what in the game?
I saw it in the thing. Maybe it's not spelled correctly.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, someone spelled it with 2 C's. I hate that person.
Adam. Someone asked about a beholder. Our Oculus looks very similar to the beholder.
Apparently our Oculus is currently a Bafu. So yes.
Can we have manual bombs? You can put the Enderminer anywhere you want, but right now it doesn't deal damage to units. It just stuns them briefly or slows their movement speed.
Sorry, which question?
About the bombs, I'm assuming is super units.
Sorry, let me do the super unit last. Is the Archon going to be retooled for the neutral vein in place of the original theme towards greed? Yes, we are going to make changes to it. What those changes are we haven't decided yet, but there will be some changes. Can underminers be made to chain explode other underminers within their radius? And if they... Oh, that's such a cool idea.
That's a really cool idea.
Yeah. Yeah, we should do that. We'll try that.
I just want to do it in the map.
Yeah, we'll look into that.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are stored anywhere, could they blow up the enemy underminer storage? No, they aren't stored. So you place them down like you would with the trap.
They're kind of built.
Yeah. And then your workers
where they are
move over to the defense parts to actually construct them.
Mm-hmm.
Can we have manual bombs, aka RN patterns? This would be super cool for combat strategy. Narrow paths for range. Boom, boom. No, but you can build. Sorry, you can hollow out a large area and then use the replacement wall to basically,
funnel units.
Funnel units how you want.
Death
Yes,
trap.
exactly.
For the future, do you see expansions? Oh, there's so much to do.
There is.
We see DLC before we see sequels or expansions.
Yeah, I mean, there's
like additional campaigns.
So many ideas that people posted that we want to do. So many crazy things that we've thought of that we want to do.
One could say too much.
Too much, yeah.
But also not enough. So go ahead and post your suggestions.
Any news on the OS X Steam bug? Not yet. Unfortunately, we're still waiting. We did discuss this earlier. So as you may have noticed, Unity has announced Unity 5. And I'm not sure if we're going to see the fix before then. Basically,
Probably not.
Probably
I'm guessing most of their time is being dumped into Unity 5.
but hopefully it will work with Unity 5. Maybe, I don't know. We just have to wait and see.
No more replacement will be built. It might come with this patch, but if not, it'll probably be an in-between.
For which, sorry?
The replacement wall.
Oh, replacement wall. When we release this update, it's accessible with the console. I'll show you. It's spawn trap replacement wall. Something to keep in mind with the consoles: there are no spaces in anything. And then build trap, bang.
And it's a replacement wall.
Has a new wall.
Whoa!
Indeed.
I'm so surprised that worked without breaking anything.
Oh, well, if you trap a unit inside, then it breaks.
It gets real upset.
Sorry. For access style DLC expansions, yes. I think Civilization 5 is probably one of the best examples of how to maintain a game on Steam with sort of the wide variety of different types of content it made available. Like with Civilization 5, they had map packs, civilization packs, they had various bundles, and then they had full-blown expansions. I think that level of variety and sort of variety in price points and the way they staggered it out over the past sort of 3 years was really good.
Yeah, something for everyone, and nothing that limits like multiplayer or makes multiplayer shitty. Because
Well, no, they did do that.
we don't plan on doing it.
We don't plan on doing that, but they did it. Yeah, I mean, I think Civilization 5 is a good thing to sort of aim for when it comes to emulating their sort of post-release schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, the replacement wall is available in the current live build. You can do what I just did in the live build. If you type in spawn trap replacement wall in the console,
Just press F2 and then a slash and a question mark,
and you see all the things. Yes.
and you'll be able to see everything that you can.
Will patches post-release include new creatures, or will it just be hot fixes until you eventually do DLC?
It won't just be hot fixes.
Okay, so our stance with new units and rooms actually is that we are generally not looking to. Shut up, Skull. Yeah, sorry. We're generally not looking to introduce that many new units and rooms. The reason being is we're putting a massive amount of focus on getting all the new units and rooms in the game before release that we want. So, if they're... Who deleted Scott's messages?
Scott might have.
Alistair did. Okay. Sorry, I will go back to answering the question. The reason we're doing this is because we don't want any DLC to impact the balance of the game. So it's very likely that a DLC may have a specific unit in it, but that unit will be specific to that DLC. So there'll be a little mini campaign which focuses on that unit. I don't know, like it might be a sort of like an ice version of the Ember Demon or whatever, and it's an Underlord who specifically has these sort of icy demons or something like that. And then the levels would be focused around that Underlord, and that he'd have his own theme and that unit, etc. That unit would then be available to everyone in the editor, even if they don't have the DLC. But it wouldn't be patched into vanilla multiplayer or the vanilla campaign. That's never going to happen.
It might have something that's really, really cool.
Possibly.
We might end up changing more.
Yeah. But generally, content that we introduce after release is going to be sort of crazy content that's not something we could have done before release, because it's just a bit too out there.
Mm-hmm.
When turning minions to gold, is there a way to not mine them?
I love that idea. I would love it if there was a specific spell that just turned them to gold and then your workers carried them off.
I wonder how you do that. Maybe if you electrocuted them after them, that would sort of say don't, like it just as an Easter egg, because it would have to be some hidden mechanic. Yeah, well,
that's a really cool idea, Pines.
Yeah, we'll think about that.
God, I'd love just a full. It'd be so pretty. I'm just imagining like a dungeon core surrounded by golden minions.
The biggest concern should be getting Josh to be the bard.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ban Kirsty.
Wait, no, I like Kirsty.
How do I ban her?
Just type
Don't.
out.
No!
The buttons have no tooltips. I don't know which one's which. They're all sort of
The far right.
There we go.
Far right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You've banned Kirsty from talking for 600 seconds.
What is the main focus of the game? Main focus is content, which bleeds over into multiplayer, and then single player is the other main focus. You can boil it down to 50-50, right?
Okay, I mean, okay. Here's another way to look at it. From a mechanics perspective, our main focus is multiplayer. From a polish and sort of fluff perspective, our main focus is single player. I mean, we aren't. When you boil it down, yes, James is correct, 50-50. But a lot of our mechanical decisions are being fueled by sort of having a sound multiplayer, because that's something that previous games didn't do.
It also adds a lot of longevity, because the campaign is only... Someone told me to write down the cool ideas,
okay.
So I wrote down gold units.
The gameplay I saw was really fast paced. Is that how long a normal game might last, or you guys just make it pro? Gameplay will be slower than that.
He cheated a little bit also.
Whatever. So not only will everything be mechanically a bit slower, but the balance just doesn't exist right now.
There's no balance at all right now.
So you can just sort of
wipe the floor.
Yeah.
Like, battle generally happens once, and then you win.
Yeah. So we need to work on balance a lot.
Yeah.
For that, you need a lot of the aspects in the game which aren't yet there. So once we start getting more things in, then you'll see.
The Baff is so cute. You should possess it so that
Steve,
everyone gets ill.
Steve, tell Kirsty if she does that, she's not allowed here, ever. Okay, are there any more real questions?
3 more.
What if someone asks 4 really good questions?
Well, I don't know. I'm leaving after 3. I'm tired.
We did say we'd leave 4 minutes ago. Fine.
3 questions.
3 questions.
Start them with 3 cues.
Write down the undermining chaining.
Underminer chaining. Underminer chaining. Smiley face.
Is the glasses look something you have all agreed upon?
Well, that's a waste of a question.
What is the biggest issue you have found so far with the current build? Literally. We could be very literal.
Did you tweet a picture of it?
Lee did.
Lee is helpful.
There we go. That's a large issue, wouldn't you say?
I would say it's a large. Well, it's a huge issue. Although the Juggernaut's not present. Will there be Welsh rooms? Yes! Best question of the night. You know it. There's definitely going to be Welsh rooms. We need one more question.
I think we did 3.
One more. One. Have you given corrupted dialogue to corrupted heroes? No, not yet. It is on the. It's on someone's list. I guess it's on. Where is Sammy? Josh is searching for Sammy. It's somewhere on our list. I didn't see him inside, so. Haha, now I have all the power. All the power. Welsh room confirmed, indeed. Where do you make them? To Josh? Josh did nothing. Most of the bugs are really boring. This level is very boring in Mighty Quest. Did you find a Sammy? Yes, you did.
Other people can't see him.
No. Dinner.
Sammy is eating last night's midnight snack.
Text to speech option? I don't think that's in the scope. It requires a lot, like a ton of phenomenal picture. That's glorious. And we get some dogs in the background. I think holding the player's hand is okay for the first level, and then after that it should be a mixture of trial and error, while still not... You should always try to teach them, but there should be bits that they learn on their own. That is illegal to own dogs in the UK.
What?
I don't know, everything seems to be illegal here.
The Queen has like 18.
It's not as free as America. I don't even see Ringo's question. Ah, the cult fans difficult to please are mostly supportive. It's a good mix. Oh, they already answered it.
Yesterday. I cleaned up yesterday. This is from...
He did. When I arrived, it was very clean.
No, Sammy is the owner of Subterranean Games.
Sure.
He likes to eat pasta sauce.
Top 4 poster.
It is?
Top 4 poster.
Oh, Sammy, yes.
By a big margin.
A few 100,000.
Oh, is that yummy?
Can you guys hear him?
Probably. It's vibrating on the table. Mic's on it. I think that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. If there are no final words from any of you. Our final word will be an outro.
Music. Where? There.
Yes, they can hear it. It's probably really loud. How many people work on it right now? Do we plan on hiring more? We don't plan on hiring more. How many work on it right now? More than 5, less than 30.
20-ish.
20-ish.
It varies.
But there are only 3 of us in this room, not counting Sammy. Are you going to support Chromecast?
Probably not. I don't think that's
I
a
guess
thing.
not.
Right, we're gonna go. We're gonna mute ourselves, and you can continue watching Sammy and listening to some Wolf the Above music if you so desire.
Yeah, we'll have an update tomorrow regarding the opt-in build.
Yes.
And if you guys are coming to Res, be sure to drop by our booth. It
Okay.
has been a pleasure. Cheers, everyone. I don't know why I did that because they can't see us. It's just insane.
We're gonna mute a microphone now. Bye.
Bye-bye.